is at. I stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I stand by you. And I stand by you. Okay, I think I got everything in the bag. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Turn us around here. Who is Kanye? Kanye West? Yeah, bro, you look like him. I look like him? Really? I don't think so. Are you trolling me? Won't let nobody hurt you. I stand by you. Trying to get the sunglasses. Okay. Gotta get my shades. Oh, God. Having technical. One moment. Okay. Put us in there. That's in the. That's in there. If you can, please double tap the screen. That allows you to give me a thumbs up. It's busy out here today. Oh, 222. 222 in the chat. Come on, somebody say something. Let me see. All messages. Okay, I think I'm good after this card. It's a beautiful day out. Thank you for the hearts. I see them. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. God bless you guys. Thank you for the people that's in the background sending hearts. I know this topic and Charlie Kirk, just Charlie Kirk, like a topic itself. Some people just are afraid to speak up or afraid to be truthful about how they feel about it. Me on the other hand, yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I won't be silenced. They got they meaning the people who like were against Charlie Kirk, the people who are against me, the people who are against like politics, I guess, and all obviously reported my channel, which is like devastating. Like, why would people do that? It's just so weird and strange, but it happens. It is what it is. It happens, and it happens a lot. It does. But again, that's not gonna make me stop going live, and it's gonna just make me go live even more, and it's gonna make me talk about it even more. It's not gonna stop me from talking about my my beliefs and my feelings about the situation. IFHI 75 said, be safe though. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's crazy because I was walking from the park, like obviously late last night, and then because they end up, I guess they reported the live, and I guess several people did, and because even YouTube, I'm still trying to dispute the fact that it is suitable for everyone. Well, I mean, I guess in the sense, like, I'm cursing, but I made sure, like, not to just open up with curse words. But true enough, they got it shut down. And as I was walking, this Ford Focus, it's like a Ford Focus hunchback. I kid you not. I'm not just saying it for views or people to be concerned about me. But my right-handed guy, there was a Ford Focus. So if you watching, I saw you, all right? So the person drives past, they had tinted windows, so I really couldn't see. Plus it's at nighttime. And so they're driving past me fast, and they blew the horn. I said I want to do a short. Once that live stream gets all like settled in, I'll do some remixes, and I'm gonna find that where that car drove past me and blew the horn. So I'm like, no problem. I mean, because I got like a little selfie stick thing going on. Some people see that and they like to blow horns, or, that's happened to me a lot when I was in Portland, Maine, when I was in Iowa City, a lot of the bigger, like obviously now I'm in Florida, a nice sized city within Florida. So it happens to me when I'm in these big environments. I don't know, some people know you, some people don't, but I said the weird thing is when the person drove again. Now this is a different street, and they blew again. I said, oh Lord, I know I have to be careful out here. And that's just like, that's something my mom would tell me every time. Be safe, be careful, be mindful. That's why I said I look around, and the lady, I got this vest on, y'all, and it's vesting, okay? The lady has said paranoia is evil, and it's this and it's that. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just a part of that then, because I gotta like protect myself. I gotta watch my surroundings. Folks are crazy out here. So yeah, it's a beautiful neighborhood. It really is. I mean, there's palm trees everywhere. I mean, it's like, it's just gorgeous. Hell, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, even Fridays, they always have like landscaping people out here cutting the yard, doing this, doing that. A lot of these luxury condos, and condominiums are super nice, but that doesn't mean that evil can exist anywhere. And I've seen it. So it's not gonna that's not going to make me like be more relaxed. I'm not gonna have crazy anxiety, but I know people are watching. Like I said, they just blew, but it's weird how you blow twice, and then it's like I'm on another street, like away from the street that I was close to the park at that time. Now I'm farther away, and you just so happen to be coming back this way at that time of night, because now it's like almost 10 o'clock at night, and it's pitch black. So it was kind of frightening, I ain't gonna lie. So you know what YouTube does? I know, like, cursing is an expression, and that's why I was like, dang, so and so is always cursing, so and so is always doing this, but so and so is probably on a higher paying scale than I am, and the more you get paid on YouTube, the more YouTube is gonna push and promote your channel, and that's just the God honest truth. Because you know why? YouTube takes over 30-some% of the revenue. Think about it. Somebody making 10,000, or say 30,000 a month, versus say if I make 1 to 2 to 3,000 a month. Like, come on. Who's gonna be supported most? Even when they do some of the crazy stuff. But you can curse though. You can curse. You just have to be careful what it is. I'm gonna be honest, what it is. And it is cursing, I must say. I was really throwing the F-bombs. I mean, even myself, I played that back and I threw that like more than 50, 60 times. I ain't lie. I mean, I stopped counting that. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, y'all can go back and count too. I mean, I threw the F-bomb a lot. Because why? I mean, yeah, people do irritate you, but also that's just the way that I express myself. But anyway, I just feel like, that's not in its entirety the reason. Also, some of the reasons is because people saw it, the amount of hate and the trolls that were coming in, and I just wasn't backing down. And so they're like, oh, well, we're gonna make this, we're gonna report this, and you guys have every right to do that, because there is some inappropriate things here on YouTube. But you got, in my opinion, my humble, honest to God opinion, honest to God, I do not think that this is inappropriate. I do think it's triggering. Yes, it is triggering, but that is not my intentions to upset people. My intentions is to speak the truth. My intentions is to keep Charlie Kirk, everyone who wanted peace and who currently wants peace. I want to make sure their voice is heard. I want to make sure that we're discussing that, we're talking about that. This is not a problem. Folks made it, they probably like, oh, he making it just out to be himself. No, I'm like Charlie Kirk, I am Charlie Kirk. I am a part of, making peace, speaking the truth, having debates, agreeing to disagree. You know how many people just can't do that? And apparently there's so many people out there, because damn, now you're trying to get my channel shut down. Well, you're getting live stream shut down. Now you're trying to get the channel shut down. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's not okay. It's so sad. Thank you for the thumbs up. People are high frequency stupid right now. Cherise Brewster, I agree. They are. Hey Cherise, I'm doing well. Happy Friday. I'm doing well. I'm walking to the park. Oh gosh, I did finally get some decent sleep. I got around like 4 hours of sleep. But I'm walking to the park, and I'm gonna today I'm going to hit that backboard. I have so much rage built up, I'm not gonna lie, because when I found out about that live stream, you guys don't realize when they shut that down, you lose out. First of all, yes, I'm monetized on YouTube. It is revenue, but they're not gonna push that video out like they should. They're not gonna push my lives. They're not gonna push my content out like they should when they find things not suitable for all audiences. So people are trying to make sure that they silence me. And that's so aggravating. It's wrong on so many levels. Why? Why? Don't do that. It's irritating, because it's no, I didn't do anything wrong. What it is, I'm not gonna back down from a damn troll. I will never. It's not about right. It's not about, who's strong, who's this. No, it's right versus wrong. The nastiness is wrong. Like mocking Charlie Kirk's death is wrong. It's despicable. And trying to come in and tell me that, oh yeah, well, he said this and he said that, and you're ignorant and you're stupid because you support him and you keep talking about it. I keep talking about it because y'all keep talking about it in a bad way. So I'm gonna talk about it in a good way. But in within me doing that, I'm not coming for your freaking carotid artery, your jugular. I'm not coming for, your life and your family. I'm not trying to talk down on you. I'm being called stupid. And I know that I'm gonna get some backlash. I know that going into this. I know I'm not dumb, but I still feel like, okay, I shouldn't. Well, YouTube shouldn't buy into that. And they said after doing their research, they found it. But I said, okay, I think that's what it is. They got me on that. Because if, Lord knows, like I was throwing those F-bombs. It's just so irritating because it's like now I can't openly speak, because once the trolls come in and I start talking to them and I start telling them, you know what, no, you're ignorant, you're dumb as F and blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna be shut down. These folks act like they are saints. I know. And you know what? Nobody's a saint. I ain't gonna lie. Hell, I feel like my dad is though. I'm like, my dad is like, I mean, he probably was like this all his life. But he's just at peace. He doesn't partake in any of the drama. And I don't know, maybe one day I can be more like him, but I just have so much learning to do. I'm 38, my dad is 70. I just have so much learning to do. And I'm gonna be honest about it. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm immature, but I do let some things get under my skin. But at the end of the day, I'm strong-willed, strong mind. Nobody's gonna to push me away from this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Did a fraction of me was like, okay, Terrence, don't. Sorry. It was a fraction of me like, Terrence, don't go live. Don't go live anymore. Don't do this. Yeah, a fraction of me, but I'm not gonna sit up here and listen to that. I will not. I'm not gonna be silenced. If I'm silenced, that means that, okay, these people are winning. The left side is winning. I'll be damned. They're not going to win. I am super competitive, just like Charlie Kirk was. I'm not going to lose this. I'm going to keep talking. And in doing so, and as I continue to speak on these things, as a black male, okay, as I continue to speak on these things as an American, okay, who has rights, I know that's going to inadvertently, right, upset people. Well, that's just what it is then. Some people have to get over that. Thank you for saying good afternoon. I appreciate you, Sharice. Thank you. IFH. You said this is why I couldn't live in these types of places. Man, that's scary. That's scary. I have a temper with stupidity, and I always have my eyes open. Honestly, I'm with you. I mean, my temper has gotten so much better. But yes, I mean, like I said, I'm 38. When I was younger, and I say younger when I was like, obviously 14, 15, 16, 17, even though I was bullied and stuff, like I think that also, oh my gosh, that kind of escalated my temper as I got older, because I felt like, well, all my life I had to fight. And all my life people picked on me, even my family members. Now, I thank God for my immediate family, my two sisters, my mom, my dad. I feel like I came from such a strong, supportive family, immediate family. But some of the extended family, even right now, like, and it's not trying to bash like my dad's sister, and I'm being so serious. And I told my dad this. I've gone live about it. I talked about it. But my dad's oldest sister, she loves to put down us, and us being myself and my sisters. Like, Because my dad, sometimes he has struggled or he has gone through things, but that's not, I'm gonna be honest, that's not our problem. I've paid off I've paid off mortgages, I've paid off cars, I've given so much. I can never, the thing about it is, my mom, if she was alive today, I could never repay my mom and my dad. They brought me into this world. But no, I don't have to give every single dollar. And if you guys out there doing that, I suggest y'all stop. I love my dad. My dad's birthday is in 6 days. I love that man. We talked yesterday for a minute, for a while. He knew I got nothing but love. But my deal is, I'm like, Dad, she needs to get out of your ear with that. And he goes, because my middle name is Darnell. He's like, Darnell, I ain't paying attention to her. I know he loves her, and I don't hate her. But my deal is, that is spewing hate. See, that's the problem, though. People had Charlie Kirk completely wrong. I think it's because of the way in which he did it. A lot of people, I'm telling you, let me tell you, at the hospital, for instance, when I do constructive criticism, now somebody can tell me all day long, Terrence, this is not how that goes, or this is not where this belongs. Okay, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, thank you for letting me know. Or it won't happen again, or I'll pay better attention next time, or blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, because they think that I'm being funny, but I'm being so real. Now, when I have somebody maybe put something back wrong or do something wrong, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not how that is, and this is why. Well, I'm just gonna do this, and I don't care about the other stuff. And I'm like, huh? Like, how do you get so upset? How are you so bothered? How do you get so upset and bothered, but then I don't get upset and bothered? When you come to me, I don't get bothered. That's why I'm like, it's just not a two-way street. Some people, it's just a one-way street, unfortunately. It's not the awesome views around you. This people, around you, the people in the area. Oh, okay, gotcha. Where are you, beautiful? Where am I at now? Right now I'm at hold on 1 second. Right now I'm at right now I'm in Fort Myers, going to the park. IHL said nope on high alert. I know that's right. You gotta be. But I must tell you this. I mean, I'm not trying to sound funny. I am in Trump country, and I'm a supporter of President Trump. A lot of people know that. I'm not trying to say, okay, that's gonna make it better. But I'm just saying, like, I'm in a place where people do support him. But then I'm also in a place where a lot of people don't as well. So I just have to be careful no matter what. But I'm not going door to door and knocking on doors. Hey, did you vote Republican? Did you vote this? Did you vote that? Like, no. What I'm doing is I'm just being me. And like I said, in doing so, being me, like, I mean, this is before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is before people even knew about me, like, supporting that party, supporting people, supporting, those point of views. Folks are just so hateful. They're hateful on here. They're hateful in real life, and I don't understand that. I guess I'll never understand it. You said dark brings out the weirdos. Yeah, but it happens in the daylight too, though. It's weird people in the daylight as well. But I must say, yeah, it was this very street. All of this was so dark last night. And this was a street that they blew at me. Well, no, not this street, but it was super dark, but they went closer to the park. I walked a long way because the park was so dark. The lights turned off a lot sooner than I thought they would. I guess they changed the hours. And So the park, all the park wasn't pitch black, but some of it was. But they had it where the gates were closed, so people couldn't come into the park like around like 9:30 to 10. Nobody could enter, but for the people that were there, they could exit. And when I walked through the thing, because I was walking back home, sure enough, that damn Ford Focus, like his hunchback, blew their horn. And I was like, what is that about? Because I don't know nobody, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I feel like, hey, at the end of the day, one person can be watching, 200 people can be watching, people can be watching in the background and never say nothing. You know how many times I got people, and no shade to those people, because all those people are just like, they just don't like to chat. But they say, hey, I never really comment, but I'm always watching your lives. I'm always in the background, and I'll always give you a thumbs up. And we've been watching you for 2 years now. I'm like, what? I don't even know who you never made yourself known. But that's the whole ticket. Like, you never know who's watching you. You have to be careful. So when you say high alert, I respect that. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's being smart, and I respect the hell out of that. I'm damn sure gonna be on high alert. Because like I said, some of these people are losing their damn minds. Or have lost their damn minds. See, I was on that side. I don't know. I can tell you this much. I said I'm coming here a lot earlier today, and I'm not going to be walking back that late. Because I'm not going to lie, I do feel like somebody's watching. It's just, you know how you get this feeling? I ain't trying to sound weird or scare anybody in the chat, but you get a feeling. My platform is nowhere near Mr. Beast, nowhere near Peach McIntyre's, nowhere near CJ So Cool, nowhere near Charlie Kirk, but he rest in peace. It's nowhere near that, but it doesn't matter. There were YouTubers being gunned down that had a couple of thousand subscribers. There's it just takes one person to hate you, not like you, for those things to occur. And so I'm not going to speak anything to existence. I'm just going to continue to pray. I pray hard. I thank God for everything. I know that I'm not an evil person. I'm not trying to harm anybody, but I just wish that people would just stop with the trying to intimidate, with all the hate. I wish the hate would stop. It's not necessary. Why do people hate people so much? I don't understand that. I don't hate anybody. Believe what you believe in. Say how you want to say shit. I don't care. There you go. I'm cursing now. Is YouTube going to shut me down because I did that? Wouldn't it be better just to leave the smaller channels alone? There were people going out and making barbecues to keep peace, and I don't see that anymore. X Killer, oh my gosh, okay. Hi, how you doing? Kelly Lee, let's say your video keeps cutting in and out and breaking up. Well, I probably the service, and I know I'm walking. I'm sorry, I apologize. I have no control over that service. Well, over this service, unfortunately. But I am here at the park, and I feel like it should be getting a little bit better. Oh, I didn't take that, didn't it? Yeah, I didn't take the charger. Rats. But it's okay. I mean, I'm only plan on being out here for probably a couple of hours anyway. I have work early in the morning, around 5:30 in the morning. But I said I did want to come and get a decent workout in. Don Pelton, keep it up, my dude. Thank you so much. It's windy. Roses are red, violets are blue. Whenever I flush the toilet, I remember you. Wow. Okay. Rock and roll, mama. Stop cloning him in the toilet. So what? fallen reality. What is in the Uncle Ruckus is happening here? Okay, the truth and nothing but the truth. That is not the truth. See, that's hate for you to say. Y'all making this like, okay, all about black and white. And so you're speaking on these things. And again, Charlie Kirk never tried to make it, he never tried to make it like that. He spoke the truth and he wanted peace. See, y'all want the separation. Folks coming in and y'all want to separate stuff. And see, that's the problem that I have. That's just being ignorant. That's ignorance. Like, why so much hate? I'll never know. I don't understand that. Sorry for the loud noise. You know what? That's God. God said, no, you don't need your charger. You're not going to be on live for 5 hours. Your voice leaving. You're getting upset. You're not going to do that, son. You're not doing that. You need to focus, and it's going to be peaceful. Not to say that any of my live streams weren't peaceful, but I know that I feel like I went off the deep end because I let some of these comments that y'all are saying kind of get under my skin, and then I started like cursing more. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm a cursing Christian through and through, but I'm not going to allow for what you're saying to impact my life and impact this live stream to the point where I just start cursing nonstop. Because like 50 F-bombs, like even though like I'm saying like, yeah, like I curse, but that's even excessive for me. And I'm going to be, see again, what did I tell you guys? I say I take accountability. I'm not omitting myself, so I'm accountable for my actions. Like I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm responsible. Like nobody's putting a gun to my head to say, hey, curse or get upset or do this or do this. It's people wanting me to do that, and so I'm pretty much like I've taken the bait, and it's like no more of that. Like no, it's no more of that. Like I'm not. I promise you. Yes, I said damn, and. Maybe shit once already, but it wasn't like I'm not like it wasn't excessive. It was not excessive. So, it is what it is. Like, believe what you want to believe, talk about what you want to talk about. I'm not going to sit up here and be silent though. And I will never be silent about Charlie Kirk. That man was not a racist. That man was as real can be, and real recognize real. I mean, come on, let's go back to the basics here. Real recognize real. Why are so many people afraid to speak their minds and just tell the truth? Y'all know how y'all feel about people. You know dang well sometimes people speak right. It can be people in a higher at a higher point, like say within like celebrity status or social media, whatever the case may be, and y'all know some people speak and you cringe, you get upset because it hits home. That means that you need to do some work on yourself, because when he spoke about certain things, even with blacks and this and this and that, and I damn sure know when he spoke about the fact of the matter, and you can say damn, but I damn sure know when he spoke about the fact that black in the black community, when you talk about black families, when that father figure is not present, that father is not in that household, that father is not in that child's life, that child, statistically, we're talking about statistics, and people can't stand this because, well, Terrence, that's not in our household. I didn't say it was in your household. I'm saying statistically, why can't we understand what the meaning of these words are? Why do we take offense to so much, and why can't a white person talk about that? Because a black person can talk about a white person all day long. But then when a white person talk about a black person, it's something going. You realize even at work, some of the white people are afraid to describe me as a black individual. Well, what the hell am I then? Yes, I have white in me, to be honest, because my granddad was half white. But at the end of the day, like, who do I appear to be? Who do I appear to be? That's why I say, like, I don't know. Like, I can disagree with some things, even with Charlie Kirk, you know. I can disagree with some things. Maybe some people disagree with some things with me, but I would love for us to agree on what we should be agreeing on is the fact that it's okay for different races to speak on different races. Especially, I feel like if you're stating facts. Now, okay, if some things are just your opinions, that's your right as well. You have every right to speak about whatever. I don't want to miss the point of why I keep talking about this, why I do these live streams, why I've done so many things in the past. Like I said, I do not condone violence. If anything, I like to, like, even with tennis and stuff, people like to talk smack. Even when I was in high school, I fought with my damn racket. I fought with my racket. That's why there's state championships being won, you know, double tournaments being won, single tournaments being won within the USTA. I fought with my racket. I'm not going to sit up here and fight with my hands. I'm not going to sit up here and fight with weapons. Okay, I definitely feel like this. If you really don't have anything to say, don't say anything at all. But we know people ain't gonna do that. If you have a problem, an issue, learn how to address it in a more respectful, in a more professional manner. You're never gonna get your point across if you're always yelling, fussing, this and this and this and that. That's why I say to myself, like, I know sometimes when I go off to the deep end, like, okay, Terrence, you're doing exactly what they're doing. You're never going to be heard. So I do want to tone it down some, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be silenced. I'm still going to speak on things. I'm still going live. I'm never going to quit. I'm never going to quit. There are so many people that has 5, 6, 7, 8 channels. I got one damn channel. That's all the channels that I need. You can continue to try to shut me down. You can continue to try to silence me, just as you did Charlie Kirk. As you tried to, let me make sure I'm using my words correctly. As you tried to silence Charlie Kirk, he is not silent. He's louder than ever before. What am I doing now? What are other people doing? There are so many. ESPN has done so many things positively around his name, speaking highly about him. At the end of the day, it's not okay to take someone out of this world based off of their beliefs. And words, you guys, words. That's really what is triggering so many people. I guess you could say that's triggering the left. They don't want to hear it. They saying, okay, once we hear this, once it's out of somebody's mouth in the universe, yes, the mouth is powerful, but at the end of the day, that man did not kill anybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? That man didn't kill anybody. We have to stop doing this. We have to stop making this okay. We have to stop making this like, we have to normalize the fact that we have the right to speak. We have the right to talk about this. We have the right to believe in what we want to believe in. Even if sometimes it may come off as left, you know, even if it comes off as right, even if, like, when I say left and I say right, I probably shouldn't even use that terminology. Even if it comes off as wrong or even if it's come off as correct, I'm not going to use right or left. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. That's how I feel about it. It is, I like to be, I'm honest when I say this. I don't like to really use it is what it is a whole lot, but in this case, it really is what it is. Y'all got to get over this. You can't, I mean, so I did a little bit of research on YouTube and I went around. Do you know, I'm not a huge YouTuber, but there are some YouTubers that's at 1.5 million, that's at 700,000, and, you know, maybe get 2,000, 1,000, you know, maybe 800 people in their live streams. Do you know these people have been shut down too? Now, I'm not trying to say their channel has been terminated, but some of those live streams have been shut down too, because they're choosing to talk about politics and they're talking about Charlie Kirk in specific. Do you understand that? That is just that's horrible. So in my mind, I'm like, well, dang, well, does YouTube have some people who didn't support Charlie Kirk or didn't like Charlie Kirk? And that could be the case too. I spoke about that. At the end of the day, this is the situation. I probably don't support what some people have done. Some prisons that I have to operate on, some say a Jehovah's Witness or this person. At the end of the day, I have to respect them, and I have to make sure that I minister the same care as I would to the freaking Pope or to the CEO of an organization. or celebrity. And I've operated on celebrities. I've operated on so many people. You know what? I can say this now, but when I was back, again, I was in Michigan at the time. I don't know if y'all know McGruff. He was the voice of McGruff. I operated on that man. Now I can't remember his name, but we operated on him in surgery. He was the voice of McGruff, and I think McGruff was like that drug dog, like don't do drugs, and all that stuff. But I don't know if anybody know that or whatever. So, but I operated on him, and sure enough, people were like, okay, he's loopy, he's crazy. The man had all his receipts. We did the research, and sure enough, it was him. And I thought like, wow, that's cool. But at the end of the day, nothing changed. We didn't give him any extra care that we wouldn't have given anybody, like a regular individual, because we all are regular people. Like, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Charlie Kirk was extraordinary, but at the end of the day, he was regular, and he made I sound contradicting because I say you can't make people anything, but he made a lot of people comfortable. He did, and I think that's something that people get so upset about. The fact of the matter is, man, how can he be he's so stern, and his technique as far as debating and the way that he just speaks, and it's just like it's what's the word? It's intimidating, but it's beautiful. It's a work of art, and it's important, and he's intelligent. I'm telling you, a lot of people are just hating because what is so sad to say, they hated on that man so much that they took him out of this world. And y'all, when you really do think about it, that's messed up. That's sad. Every time I start to talk about that, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I just get I get emotional about it, because it's like, man, like, I don't want to be taken out of this world because of what I believe in and what I speak on. I pray hard, y'all. I pray so hard. I just don't put anything past anybody. It's devastating. That's what it is. The foreign channels somehow get away with showing violent material. I know. That's why. But I feel like those foreign channels, IFH. I'm telling you, I feel like this. I feel like they get away with that because they bring in more revenue. I mean, I bring in a good bit every now and then, every certain months, but they bring in so much consistently. And I think YouTube is like, well, damn, they're gonna keep us at $1 billion status, so we're gonna keep talking nonsense, we're gonna keep doing this. And that's the disturbing part. Because I guess as you get more views, they push you out more. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've been pushed out a whole lot myself, with shorts. I can be dancing, I can be singing, but I can be talking about Charlie Kirk, I can be talking about politics. I feel like I have been pushed out more, but that also means that more hate comes in, more evil people come in. But it doesn't, at the end of the day, like, I just wish that they could do a thing where they need to make it fair all around. But we know life isn't fair, YouTube isn't fair, and that's just how it is. I keep going back to that's just how it is. And I'm not angry by that. What it does is it fuels me to keep going, to keep pushing. So therefore, now I'm really not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Man, what's suitable for artists is debatable. Some of the things I've seen on YouTube, right? I agree. I can't believe when I watched the video of him being assassinated. Look, I'm telling you, some of those videos, every time I saw viewer discretion is advised, or YouTube had a black screen and was like, this video may not be suitable, material suitable for all ages, or blah, 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 basically watch at your own discretion and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna watch this because some things I be watching, it makes me sad. And so it makes me sad, and I don't know, I've lost sleep. It's so crazy because my mom, and I know this is kind of crazy and random, but my mom when she was alive, she couldn't stand going to funerals. So I feel like naturally that was a part of me. I couldn't stand funerals. I did not like to, I remember my mom and dad would take us and they would go pay the burial insurance. And one time, of course, I'm exploring, being nosy. I end up going back because the funeral home just opened, and also the funeral home to this day, where we have our barrels and stuff, all that stuff planned out and everything. It's a family-owned business. That family went to school with my mom and dad. So the man who embalmed my mom was in class with my mom, and I just thought that was amazing. It was incredible. He did such a brilliant job, with her body. And I'm not trying to make anybody sad. I'm not. Look, I promise y'all, I'm not sad talking about this. I'm okay. That's how I know there's a God. Thank you, Jesus. God is so good, because I can talk about this now without crying snot booger tears, even though I'm emotional, but I can still talk about it. That's why I like people like, oh, Charlie Kirk's wife is fake and this and this. I said, no, that woman, she grieves the way she's grieving, and not everybody's going to grieve the same way. Not everybody's going to talk the same way. Hell, some of my family members, hell, if somebody died in our family, hell, we having a fish fry. That's just, everybody's a little different. Stop judging people. If we can stop doing that, the world could be better too. But anyway, so I didn't like, funerals and dead people and all that. But I remember getting lost, and I was like, I screamed so loud. My mom and dad came running back. The funeral director, was on the floor laughing because I had saw this body in this casket. And it was just beautifully placed. I mean, it was like beautiful. I guess they were going to have like a funeral the next day, and they were going to have it actually at the funeral home. But anyway, long story short, my mom is like, that's why you got to stop running, blah, 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 blah. But as I've gotten older, I said, wow, it's such a beautiful thing. I think my point is, it's such a beautiful thing, and we all have to go right. But I still and my mom knew this. I'm pro-life. I want us to live, but at the same time, it's like we all have to die. And then that moment just really just, I don't know. I think when I was younger, seeing that person in the casket, I didn't get sleep. I remember having nightmares for a little bit. I didn't get sleep. And even with my mom, seeing my mom, even though she was just beautifully resting in that casket, I'm not gonna lie, my dad knew, and I had therapy for this, and I don't, like I said, I know in the Black community therapy really doesn't exist, but it existed in our household. My mom really pushed for that. My mom was just a stand-up woman. I'm not lying, y'all. She was amazing. She died when she was 51. But y'all gotta realize, I'm not just existing and talking and don't know shit and haven't gone through things. I know I gotta be careful. I said that word twice so far, right? Or 3 times. But I'm not just going through okay, let me just talk about things and let me just see if people can adapt or agree or blah, blah, blah. I've actually gone through so much in life. Okay, this is a YouTuber who is real. I'm a real content creator. I'm somebody who I really have so much to talk about. I've gone through so much. You cannot tell me I haven't. And I'm not trying to say I've gone through way more than you've gone through, but I probably have gone through a lot more than the average person who's 38 years old. Because not a lot of 38 years old have traveled to 32 states, 4 countries, and have seen countless and countless and countless of trauma cases. People coming in, gunshot to the head, gunshot to the chest, gunshot in the back, gunshot in the abdomen. We're cracking chests and we're cracking chests in the bay of the emergency department. They don't even make it back to the surgical unit. We doing it in the emergency department, cracking chests. I'm sitting up here going in with gloves, holding arteries and stuff. Trying to hold artery because the blood is just spewing out, and I'm holding the heart because, oh my gosh, there's a hole in here. So we're trying to save this person's life. I have seen this so many times. I'm telling you, those things, I must say, they can become very triggering. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to convey is, I don't like violence. I got involved in the medical field to help save lives. I love to be real. Can I be critical? Do I analyze a lot? Yes, indeed. I'm myself. I'm never going to change that. Like I said, Charlie Kirk, may he continue to rest in peace, was not a racist. This man believed in what he believed in. He said what he said, and he knew something. Maybe it can be controversial and stuff, but it should not have cost him his life. And fast forward, moving on from that, the fact that people laughed and they're still mocking the fact of, okay, he passed away, or how he was murdered. That's not a laughing matter. That's I think that's the it's not I think I know that's the gist of what I'm talking about and what I will continue to talk about until we can all agree on that and stuff, whatever. Okay, I don't know, y'all, like, buckle up, because his voice needs to continue to be heard. His voice needs to continue to be heard. Now what it is, it's like people spiraling out of control. Folks didn't even know him. Folks don't even know President Trump. They knew President Trump because of The Apprentice. Yeah, you don't know what that man has done. You don't know. I'm not trying to say everybody, but a lot of people don't. Tell me something that, okay, President Trump has done and something he has changed and stood for, and it's and and I want to know before he entered into politics. That man has done a lot more than y'all think. A lot more than y'all think. People talk about Keanu Reeves and how he's so giving and he's so this and he doesn't do this and he takes it so way he does this. Y'all, President Trump is a very giving man. You might not believe it, but he is. He's done a lot of awesome things. People can say, okay, well, Oprah did too, and they're 50 rich, so they got to sit up here and have charities and all this. Y'all say what you want. At the end of the day, he has charities. He does give back. He does supported a lot of the blacks. You know who did support a lot of blacks? And this is fact. This is fact because she put away a lot of people in prison. And when she was a prosecutor, Kamala Harris. You know, so, and when I speak on that as a black man, a lot of the black people get upset because it's like, well, it don't matter. She black. And you trying to tell me, and that's something my mom told me. She said, stop tailgating. Stop doing what your sister's doing. And like she even said, she said if they misbehave and they doing this, you ain't got to sit up here and fall in suit. Don't fall in line with that. She said, you be your own person. Get your own idea about things, no matter what the case may be. I don't care if your best friend telling you, oh, I don't support this and I don't do this. Well, figure out why she don't support that. Figure out why he don't support that. And you get your own interpretation. You get your own idea. There are so many people that don't have their own ideas, their own identities. And that's why it's so easy for when he was assassinated and all that mess was spiraling out of control here on YouTube. Now everybody is seeing videos and they're seeing the base and they're trying to paint the picture that he was just a hateful, awful person. What in the world, y'all? Oh my gosh. You don't even know who these people are. And now it's like, okay, they passed away, they were murdered, and now it's like, okay, now I know them. Because, I watched a couple videos. But you don't do your research. That kills me. I tell you, I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't make sense. Or I'm sorry, you can't tell me that does make sense. It doesn't make sense is what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. And you want me to shut up and you want me to stop talking about something and I've done my due diligence, I've done my research. You want me to sit up here and be silenced because, okay, it makes you uncomfortable or you don't like him because he said certain things about, the civil rights movement, or he spoke about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. May he continue to rest in peace. It's like, you're not going to get me. You're not going to change. I keep saying this. You're not going to change my outlook, my trajectory, my mindset towards somebody who was speaking their truth. And now the fact that he was assassinated, they're making a mockery of this. Why would I want to sit up here and accept that? Why would I want to be a part of something like that? Again, people got to remember, Terrence saves lives for a living. I don't condone that all that mess and all that hate. And even when he said things and he was very direct, as I could be. That's why I say, I don't know if people can resonate with that and stuff. Like, sometimes I speak and yes, it's real and it can be looked as rude and aggressive. Sorry, not sorry, because it's me. Especially when I'm passionate about something. I've gotten banned for my comments, and it was addressing the trolls. I completely understand. That's why I say, honestly, the trolls come in, they're derogatory, they're mean. Now, a lot of times, now when I see in this chat, when I see something that says, I'm not going to show every comment because I don't have any moderators and that's on purpose, but I'm going to be very careful about the comments that I show. I think even I've probably did my channel. I did that live stream last night, probably bad in itself, because I started viewing and I showed everything because I wanted people to see how ignorant some people really can be or are. But in me doing so, I think that did hurt me, and that's why they shut down that live stream. But also because people were reporting me, and being absolutely hateful and impossible. I don't know why. To be honest, I don't know why, because I'm like, okay, I'm talking freely about something that really a lot of other people are talking about. But because they're talking about it and they're against it, and they was against him. Oh, so now they live can stay up. They're okay. Mine goes down. A couple of others, bigger streamers, theirs go down because they're saying how they were going in on people. You're stupid, you foolish, you this, you that. I'm not saying all of that. I do think that some people are ignorant about this situation, but I'm not just trying to I'm not just trying to come off as a complete asshole is what I'm saying. I'm not. But I definitely know that some people are doing this. It's sad to say, but some people are just simply, doing this to continue to cause more hate. They want to cause more of a separation. And yeah, that's really messed up. Hey, Alvin, how you doing? Artemis, I just joined and listened for a minute, but what are you talking about? I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm talking about, I am talking about politics. I'm talking about what's wrong and what's wrong and what's correct. I'm really trying to be careful with right and left here. That's what I'm speaking on, and I supported Charlie Kirk. I supported what he believed in, and that's what I'm speaking on right now. And I can tell you this much: what I disagree with is the fact that people are calling him a racist. Hey, it's majority are the white people. I'm sorry, the majority are the black people, but there are some white people calling him racist. And I'm just like, when I tell you the world, in my opinion, the world in which I'm viewing this at this moment is completely corrupted. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up on humanity, because at the end of the day, I don't care what you've done. If you're being assassinated, like if you were assassinated like that, you think I'm going to sit up here and make jokes? Especially, I mean, I don't care if I'm on the side of the road sleeping, but if I'm in hospitals and I'm in Secret Service, I'm CEO, I'm this, I'm that. I am at a higher elevation. Like within my business or within a business. You think I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna make jokes when someone is being murdered in front of their children, in front of their wife, in front of people who loved and supported him, in front of people who probably did support him, but probably didn't want anything bad to happen to him? Because it's messed up, people. It's messed up. There are some people who just despise him, but didn't want him to be killed. They didn't think a minute about assassinating him. They just thought, wow, what a dummy, what an evil person. And that's okay to think that. It's not okay for you to act on your emotions because you don't like what someone has to say. That's not okay. People need to learn, and IFH, and I'm sure like you're learning just as well as I'm learning. We can't be so like quick to have a temper or quick to react. We have to breathe, we have to think, and then we have to respond. You know how many people are locked up, incarcerated because they acted out before they just took a moment. They forgot about their future. They forgot about their dreams, their hopes, and they just went in on a situation. And you can't take it back. You can't have a do-over. You can't have a do-over, people. We got to be careful. We have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of what we're doing, of what we're saying. And at the end of the day, more so, I mean, people talk about everything. People talk about Jesus. We know that. But when you're sitting up here when you're threatening people, and you're shooting at people, you're trying to intimidate. I don't know. Like I said, the person who is driving, maybe this person. I don't know. I don't know how many people were in that car. I don't know really what they were about. But I don't know. Were they watching the live stream? I had a lot of people watching. I don't know. I can tell you one thing. When I'm in certain states, I feel like people within the area, I don't know, somehow they kind of come in. It's happened to me when I was in Iowa City. I had lots of people from that state, from that area in my live stream. So I don't know. I'm gonna be careful out here and stuff. I know that I'm not threatening anybody. I hope what I'm saying isn't threatening you all to the point where you want to actually cause physical harm. And I just can't get that out of my mind at how this man was murdered because he spoke his truth. He talked about things. He talked about things that, I mean, just so relevant. It's so important. It's necessary. And you want to sit up here and kill someone like that? I mean, I'm not trying to say kill anybody, but damn, you got some people who are just completely just irrational and just are not coming with facts. And this man was factual. Let me tell you, fake pseudo right is one thing, but fact, reality is another. We can't face the truth, and I think that's what ends up. That's the main focus. We can't face what is true. What is true, and I'm keeping it real. A lot of black people don't like the fact that yes, we are committing crimes on each other, on others, but we want all the respect. We demand all the respect. Well, we got to stop doing all these ignorant things. I said this years ago when I was freaking 15. And when I was 15, I remember I was in 10th grade, I was 15. Because I'm telling you guys, I was on the student body council. I talked about these things. I remember I had the principal tell me, Terrence, okay, reel it back in. Why I gotta reel it back in? Sir, now I still love Mr. Williford. I mean, just amazing. He was my principal in high school. I didn't go to any of my 10-year class reunions, but I did. I remember the first one was in 2015. And I remember when I went home, they had it, and then everybody went to Applebee's. I knew people were going to go to Applebee's, so I went to Applebee's too. And that's where I saw Larry, I saw Shatar, I saw a lot of different people, a lot of awesome classmates, and a lot of people that were not so awesome to me, that bullied me, but it is what it is. I don't hold grudges, by the way. And then it just passed this year. This was going to be my second 10-year reunion. Oh my gosh, I'm so old. I graduated in 2005, so 2015 was the first one, and 2025 was the second one. I missed this one, but yeah, I ended up seeing. I saw the principal. I saw a lot of different people, and I just, like I said, I just don't have any hate or animosity towards people, but people have hate and animosity towards me. That's why I said the world that I live in, that I exist in, is very questionable. That's why you do have to look over your shoulder. You know, you have to be careful. You know, I'm very careful. And I'm not trying to say I wish that Charlie Kirk was more careful, but I wish that, I wish we can go back in time, but I must say, I mean, because he knew that people were going to become more violent. Now, I know that as well. So I'm telling you right now, I don't want to go speak in front of thousands of people. I would love to have something where it's Zoom, or it's something like, okay, in the comfort of my own home, and maybe I'm getting through to a lot of different people. But I don't know. I just don't trust it. People keep talking to me about having meet and greets. I love my supporters. But I know for a fact some people are probably going to come and come with attitude, or maybe come and try to like do something to me. I'm not going to lie. You guys, I have so many other channels that's on here that talk about me to this day, and they hate me. Now I've just added more fuel to their fire, right? Because I'm speaking on the fact that I'm talking about Republicans. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm talking about this. I mean, they can't stand it. They're like, oh, you're trying to be somebody you're not. What do you mean by that? Who am I trying to be? I only know how to be Terrence. That's all I know. Like, I'm Terrence. I play a little bit of tennis. I work in surgery. I go home. I was gonna say the SHIT. I was gonna say SHIT, but I mean, I have a bowel movement. I do a little cooking, and then I work my butt off again, and I just try my best to live right. I try my best to live correctly, to do the right thing. I gotta say right, Hill. I mean, it's appropriate. I try my best to do the right thing. So if you hate me because I'm supporting the fact that I know for a fact inside in my heart that Charlie Kirk was not a racist, I don't know what to tell you. Look, I can say this much. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you're so aggravated at the fact that I keep saying that he was not a racist, because I'm going to continue to say that, because he wasn't a racist. And the ironic thing was the political slogan they used was "silence is violence." Artemis, I can't support Trump, and that's okay. Artemis, that's okay. Artemis, I'm not telling you that you must support nothing. This has never came out of my mouth. You must support Trump. You must support Kamala, Biden. You must support this person. You must support the Republicans. You must support, the Democrats. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is what we should do is all be heard and all have a voice, and not kill somebody because they want to speak on what they believe in. And then paint them as a horrible racist person because of what they talked about. I think a few people came in and said, okay, you can talk about race, you can talk about racism, you can talk about blacks, white, Hispanic, Jews, you can talk about, Mexicans, Filipinos, you can talk about all different races, but that does not make you a racist. You can speak on the LGBT community, the LGBTQT. I'm so sorry, y'all. I mean, it's just there's a lot of letters, and I always be wanting to get it right. But I support all of that. At the end of the day, I know what Charlie Kirk supported. I know what he did support, and like I said, I agree with some things. I disagree with some things. I do agree with most. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not somebody who's going to change my thoughts because, okay, somebody who I support is thinking this way or thinking that way. I'm just Terrence. I don't straddle the fence. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, like, I definitely feel like what I would want people to understand is you can't force anybody to do anything, right? But you should not condone the violence. You shouldn't be laughing at the fact that, okay, this man was killed, and you shouldn't be spewing negative comments about things that you have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you're only basing this off of, and I'm not just talking about you in particular, I'm just saying people in general have no idea about what they're talking about, and they're like, oh yeah, this man supports Charlie Kirk, and he said this about civil rights, he said this about this. Okay. Do y'all realize that man, be it a woman or a man, but man, a human, is trying to change your mindset. They're trying to change your trajectory. They're trying to change the path. They're trying to give you different directions. They want you to steer away from the truth. The truth of the matter is that man was right on so many different terms, on so many different levels. It wasn't even freaking funny. He came with damn facts, and people don't like the truth. And I'm seeing more of that. I had a student sit up here just start crying because I told her, you're not paying attention. You're talking, you're dancing, you're singing. You're not paying attention to the case. You have to pay attention. You have to be able to comprehend, you have to be able to multitask, and you have to be able to anticipate. You're sitting up here dancing and singing and stuff, and you don't even know all the names of these instruments. And you're not even out of school. You're the future. She just starts crying. Oh, she just starts crying. You would think that I didn't slap the hell out of her. And I'm like, what the hell? If she had the freaking preceptors that I had growing up, this woman would have just probably dropped out by now. At the end of the day, I know everybody's a little different. You got to, some people are strong, some people a little soft, some people just flat out weak. I've had weak moments in life, but I pray to God that I don't have those anymore, because I'm telling you, in today's time, today's world, you have to have strong, thick skin, because people will try to break you down. They'll try to tear you up. There's so many content creators I know for a fact. They did awesome content. They, some controversial, it was drama, but it's not like a negative thing. It's reality, it's real. But they were silenced. They got off a lot. They stopped doing live streams. They stopped doing content. Maybe they do a little bit on, maybe a little Twitch, like far as gaming, but they don't talk about things. They're afraid to speak up because of what they were called. They were called all type of names. I don't care about being called names. I'm probably getting called names in this live stream, was called names in the other live stream. Probably gonna be called names in multiple other live streams. That's not gonna stop me from speaking on what I want to speak on. You don't have to support Trump. You don't have to support anyone you don't vote for. David, parking on the grass, really? David, stop it. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Oh my gosh. If my dad was here right now, he'd be like, hell yeah, you know, because my dad he did not like that. He doesn't like that to this day. My dad's in Mississippi, and my dad is like, my mom didn't care, like, say, if myself or my sisters or friends or whatever, people that came over, and my mom would sometimes have like growing up, she would have like card games, and my dad couldn't stand it when people parked on the grass. He said, get off the grass, get off the grass. Like my dad likes, you know, look at the grass here. He loves the pretty green grass. He doesn't want anybody walking on it and stuff, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I did walk through the grass. It's kind of hard to not walk through it, because if you're walking that way, you kind of got to walk on grass. But I feel like walking on it is one thing, but you're parking on it. I agree with you, especially when your car probably leaks oil or antifreeze or other liquids and stuff. It just ruins it, you know. But I know that was random, but I'm with you on that, and I definitely am with you on that. Okay, the port, we're not going to show that. That's a horrible comment. Jesus, that is so evil. That's the American way. JP said Charlie Kirk, Trayvon Martin, Hunter, George Zimmerman. Wow, why do y'all keep putting that? Ricky Norris said, hey Terrence, long time no see, brother. How are you? I'm doing very well. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. I know a lot of people left out because I talk about these things and people just don't want to listen to it. And like I say, that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna, it could be nobody in here. I'll just talk to myself. Y'all know how I do it. JP Kirk, I'm not racist. I'm a victim of racism. La Mello said, is Raven here? Who is Raven? Like Raven Simone? That's so Raven. It's the future I can see. That's so Raven. The mysterious me. Yeah, that's me. I love that show. Artemis says, what are your thoughts on Trump administration and Republicans leaning towards fascism, but criminalizing any anti-fascist movements? Okay. This is how I feel about it. I mean, I don't think entirely. I don't feel like if you're leaning towards that makes you such an awful person or awesome community or awesome organization. I think some of it is relevant. I think some of it is irrelevant, if that makes sense. I mean, I still feel like, and I'm not trying to sit up here and dumb down what you're saying, Artemis, but that's just not my main focus. At the end of the day, let me just put it like this. If somebody is saying that they absolutely support the devil, somebody just flat out coming to say that. What I'm trying to get at and what I'm trying to convey is, even with that person saying that does not make it right for people to assassinate them. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now I'm not gonna lie, I look at the politics a whole lot. I watch a lot of things, different backgrounds, ethnicities and stuff, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's just like some of it is just like it's too good to like turn away from. But I don't want to lose focus. I don't want to lose my focus on why I'm doing this at this moment. But I get what you're saying, Artemis. I really do. Like, it's just that my thoughts on that are just that. I feel like some of it is relevant, some of it is irrelevant. I do feel like there's some hypocrites within the Republicans, but there's also hypocrites within Democrats, and we've all have been hypocritical of some type of thing. So at the end of the day, I think we're judging, and it's inevitable, but I feel like it's just a revolving door. Like, you know, I feel like what's the animal? Is it the gerbil or the hamster? It's the gerbil, right? That's just spinning on the wheel. I feel like we're just spinning and we're not getting anywhere. You know, because we're not focused on what we need to be focused on. But that's just my opinion. racism and social construct that people still haven't evolved past. I know, right? And people IHF, I say IFH, people are saying, I gotta stop talking about it. We gotta stop talking about it, and that's the issue. That's the problem. If we stop talking about right, so everything's gonna. If we stop talking about wrong, is everything gonna be right now? Like, no. I feel like we should talk about it. Like I said, I know Morgan Freeman, who is absolutely legendary, who's somebody I actually met. Morgan Freeman is someone my uncle actually. He was a musician. He passed away. He actually played a lot of times with his band at his club, because like I said, Morgan Freeman has a club in Cleveland, Mississippi, Ground Zero Blues, I want to say, and it's in the Delta, and it's an awesome club. It's a lot of different, it's Mexicans, it's white people, it's Indians, it's black, it's a melting pot. And I'm like, where the hell y'all come from? Because this is like the country in Mississippi, but the music, the vibe brought everybody together. That's why I say I love music, because it brings everybody together from all walks of life, no matter what you believe in, no matter who you identify as, it brings you together. But yeah, like I feel like even he said, oh, stop talking about it. Okay, you out of your damn mind. I'm not gonna stop talking about this. No. Local police losing their mind to, Tammy Baldwin said local police losing their mind to. I mean, oh, see, Tammy, I feel like some of the police now locally have already lost their damn mind. And then sometimes you got to have a mind in order to lose it. It's just my opinion, nothing more. So, and you got to realize, we all have opinions. I mean, I feel like we sound like broken records, right? And we all have opinions, just like assholes. Y'all, we have opinions, and our opinions are our opinions. And it's okay for you to hear other people's opinions without wanting to kill them. I'm going to say that again, without wanting to kill them. Stop hurting people. Artemis, what is the definition of fascism? I don't know what the word means to you. Ryan Morris, I'm so happy you said it, because honestly, a lot of people probably don't know about it. I do know about it and stuff, and but everybody probably has a different meaning. And I love how you say that. See, you're somebody who you probably are a great debater, because you allow the individual, not to say you're trying to debate, but you allow a person to give you their interpretation of what they're trying to say or what they're trying to convey. And that, my dear, that is freaking amazing. Okay, I love that. LaMelo Artemis, false claims to fight against fascism, but they are the biggest fascists. Wilfredo said, why is it hate speech when I quote Kirk now? No, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not saying, what are you saying when you quote Kirk? Like, I'm not calling you hateful. So you can quote what he said about the civil rights movement. You can quote what he said about, like, about the gay community. You can quote what he said about, I don't know if he spoke about fucking oh Lord, I'm doing that's the F-bomb. He quoted he could quote about he could have quoted about cheeseburgers or whatever. I'm not calling your speech hate. I'm saying, when you are saying, if you're saying that what I'm saying is ignorant, not even ignorant, when you're calling, not to say you call me that, I don't know, I mean, some of you guys have, but I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm pathetic, you know, you must be a pedo, you must be this, because you support just that. And I'm like, huh? That makes it hate. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not, if you quoting this, or you saying this, or you just flat out saying, I don't like him, I despise him, I don't like him, I don't support him, I don't think that's hateful. I just think that that's the way you feel about it. I'm saying, are you laughing at the fact that he was assassinated? I'm trying to ask that. I'm asking that question. Do you think that he was a racist because he spoke about certain things? Can you not speak about race? Can you not speak about the statistics about anybody, you know, at the background, and not be that color and still not be considered racist? I think you can. The confirmation in this is the fact that, like I said, I work in a hospital, and there are people who are afraid to say black. And I get so aggravated. I have to tell them intraoperatively, which means during a surgical case, I'm like, it's okay to call that person black because they're black, and I know that you're white. It's okay, sir. It's okay, ma'am. They get red-faced. They get flustered. These are people that are doctors, that are first assistants like myself, that they've been in school for years, multiple education, multiple knowledge, intelligent, brilliant people, educated people who are afraid to speak what is actual true in reality because of the society in which we in which we reside in, the environment in which we reside in, and the society, like with all this social and the media and this and that. It's like, this is so comical. But meanwhile, I guess what's normalized even here on YouTube is for people to spew a lot of hate and they not get shut down. But somebody who speaks on freedom of speech and really free will are the ones that's being attacked. Something's gotta change here, because something's not clicking. Something's not clicking. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit the hell out of this ball. I may break a few tennis balls because I am a little irritated. I'm irritated at the fact that I just feel like we're just not getting anywhere where we need to be. And I don't like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like that. I feel like we need to, as a community, we need to be at a higher place already. We should be at a higher place of elevation, of support, of love for one another. NWO Wolf said the hate is mostly from the left. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you on that. I don't want to say hate, but it's like, man, I don't like the fact that they're calling it that, but that's what it is, right? The left, that's what it is. Like, people on the left have lost their freaking minds. Let me just say this. I want to be careful, because somebody gonna come in and say, well, I'm a part of the left, and I haven't lost my mind. And you're absolutely right. I have to be careful in how I speak, because not everybody has lost their mind. Some people have, but not everybody. So I apologize for saying that. It's some people that have lost their minds. I can't even say the majority, because again, I'm somebody who take accountability. I don't know all the statistics. I don't know how many people are on the left, how many people are on the right. I don't know how many Republicans we have in it. I don't know how many Republicans we have in here. I don't know how many Democrats we have in here. I could do some polls, but I don't know. I feel like even with some of those Democrats, they're gonna support the fact that it's not right to kill someone based off of what they believe in. Because this can go both ways. I don't want nobody hurting nobody. That's what I'm getting at. Now, I'm a little rusty on the backboard. I'm going to hit a little bit. I'll stay live, because when I take a break, I'm going to talk a little bit more, and then I'll probably end up ending it. But before I end it, I'm just going to hit the backboard a little bit. But I agree with you on that. I'm not going to view those messages that are here for review, so I apologize if you guys are not saying something horrid, but YouTube is looking at it as toxic. I'm just not going to view it, because I think that's also something that can get the live shut off. You said, on the same hand, crazy things happen in Florida. They do. A lot of crazy things have happened here. Like I said, I am in Trump, as they call it, Trump country, and I love that. But again, a lot of people, be it white and black, are just not supportive of President Trump. And then when I spoke about it, I spoke about it even in public. I'm not gonna lie, I got some crazy looks. Tammy Bob would say, it's not the people, if it's the spirit within them are evil. Facts. Tammy, I absolutely agree with that. I love that. Artemis said, and let me know your thoughts if you want. But yeah, and I know that my thoughts are very vague, because I feel like I don't want to be taken. We're just having a discussion and stuff, but I don't want the agenda, the main focal point, the objective of this to change. What I'm saying is, he was not racist, okay? And that's what I believe in. That's what I know to believe, because I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, I'm a chosen one. Okay, there you have it. I'm chosen one. You know, you can tell. I feel like genuinely, and Tammy, you're speaking about this, but don't catch your spirit. Let you know a lot. almost to the point where you don't want to know some things. You like, oh God, I don't know, but your spirit lets you know. You ever have the intuition? Women and men alike have it. I'm telling you, it's a feeling in your spirit, and you know. If you know, you know. Artemis, I know you put that up. Yeah, you put that in that saying. If you know, you know. But if you know, you know. And I can't, you know what, this isn't me trying to explain things, but you just have to do your own research. And maybe it'll pop into your mind 10 years from now, like, oh wow, you know, Terrence was right. All I'm saying is that it's just a world, and it's a world that's a little different. It's a world that's a little difficult. It's a little weird, and all that's okay. But we have to stay facts. We got to stop doing this thing where we're not coming with facts. We're just looking at other videos. We're piggybacking off of other people, and then that's where we're getting at. That's not okay. That's not cool. YouTube does leave you alone. It's viewers that report you that make YouTube act. Yeah, but YouTube, they still looking at, they reviewed YouTube reviewed mine, and they still find it not suitable. I'm a verified channel, so I know I have I got a target on my back too, so I'm representing. I'm true. Like, I mean, everybody represents YouTube, right? The partnership program, who is monetized, but I'm truly representing them because I'm a verified channel. So they're gonna really look into my streams a lot, and I think they probably really looked and they watched all of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I cursed like out of the ass, and that's why I say I'm still gonna curse, but I'm gonna tone it down a little bit because, again, I don't want this to be a thing where, okay, I'm speaking my truth in my voice, but I'm not being heard because people, like, all they hearing are F-bombs, and they're like, okay, I don't care about that. So that's why I must say, again, I'm accountable. I'll take accountability because I'm somebody who says, okay, well, they're not gonna hear me out, right? They're not gonna hear me if I'm screaming in your ear, or if every other word is an F-bomb. So facts is facts. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. I'm gonna curse, but it's just I don't need to curse as much to get my point across because I want to be the difference. So I say that to get your point across, you can't. Yeah, you got to yell in the way, but you can't always just. I mean, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk because he did it beautifully. He didn't even do it like that. That man was aggressive. He was to the point. I'm telling you. And I mean, there are so many people that have learned his ways of debating, and they've won debates. They've won campaigns because of that young man. Again, he was 31, you guys, and he had been at this for quite some time. A brilliant mind who was assassinated because of what he believed in. Now I'm gonna hit the ball a little bit on the backboard. You guys, please stay in because when I break, I'm gonna continue to talk a little bit, okay? Very rusty. Right here. So when I look up, all I see is sun. a little bit better. Man. Oh. Okay, one more, and I'm gonna take a quick break. I got my vest on. My sauna vest. Helps me lose more water weight. I keep saying one more, but it's so addicting. Okay. I'll take a quick break. It's a lot, especially with the vest on, man. Whew. It's not easy in this damn Florida heat, by the way. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, back to the talk. My middle name is Artemis. You have to look at their extremely violent actions. BC Brad M Rap Channel. Hey, bro, there's so many clips of him saying if he went on an airplane and there was a black pilot, he would get off the plane immediately if that ain't racist. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You're looking into that the wrong way. You're looking into I will debate everybody with this, okay? Whoever wants to debate. That particular statement, you're reading into that the wrong way. The context, I'm telling you, if you look at the whole freaking story, the whole picture, you're just said, oh, there's clips. The man knows, he said that in a sense of, okay, so I know I shouldn't think like that. I know that's wrong. But if I were to have said that, you know, he said, I know it's right. I know it's not right. So if I say, oh, hey, yeah, if there's a black pilot, I don't want to sit up here. I don't want him flying the airplane. I want to get off the airplane. So it's not, this man is not racist. They're trying to manipulate people's mindsets and flip the script on what he is saying. That's what they're doing, because it was him saying it, but it's just like reality TV. You know, the housewives or whatever the case may be, the basketball, all this nonsense. They in their confession rooms, those people edit and put together things, and they make it seem like the person said it in this way, but the person didn't say it in that way. The person said it, but they didn't have that tone. They didn't mean anything wrong by it. They know what they're saying is wrong, and they're trying to convey that. They're trying to convey that. So no, miss me with the nonsense. Hold on one second, you guys. That's my sister calling me. That's my sister calling me. She said it's okay. She wants me to call her, but I said I'm in a heated live stream, and she said, okay, I understand, it's okay, because I'm thinking, okay, Lord forbid, if somebody dead. And if she said no, she said she's okay, but I know she wants to vent and talk, which eventually I will end the live, but I want to talk about this though. Josh Chandler said there isn't. He said worse things than that. Soundbite clips, man. The context of the conversation was about that. Yeah, idiot. I've heard the squad say much more. Charlie Kirk is a saint. Patriot Graham, Christo Jean Grimm. I said your name so wrong. Patriot Grimm, Christo Grimm. Thank you for saying that. But Charlie Kirk, I'm telling you, he even said himself, he's not perfect. He's not a saint. He knows he's not God. He didn't even want to run for presidency. He knew in his heart that he's a man of faith. Okay, and he wants peace. Now at the same time, now people can sit up here and disagree with me on this, but y'all, Jesus himself got upset. God himself would depart from you, and that is in the Bible. Jesus flipped the table. He was bothered. You're sitting up here, you're talking about his father, you're diminishing, you're doing this, and Jesus himself was irritated. Y'all, none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. I don't know, when we can realize that, I think that we can start to agree on things a lot better. I'm just saying. Blue Grill Buster said, hi, hello. Josh says, so once proven wrong, you say there must be other things. That's idiotic. Huh? Me? I'm confused with the comments, because you said, so once proven wrong, you say there must be other things. That's idiotic. I don't know what you mean, Josh. Artemis says the way you die doesn't justify the way you live. I agree. Blue Grill Buster says R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Thank you so much for saying that. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk for sure. Drummer says he said if DEI was the standard for hiring practices used by an airline, he would get off the plane because they were hired because of race and not skill. Drummer, can I just can I hug you? I'm sorry, I'm not even a hugger, but I want to hug some of y'all, because y'all have done y'all, like, let me tell you, I promise to God, I've done my research, but I don't want to even tell people every damn thing in here, because at the end of the day, they're not going to believe this, because they're not going to go do their research for themselves. So y'all are coming, a lot of y'all are coming with facts, and you're understanding in the context in which things are said. Bravo. So that means that we got some strong-minded people, not weak-minded people in this live stream, even though we do got some weak people up in here, and I'm just not trying to be mean. I'm being rational. I'm being real, because you're not doing your homework. You're coming to school and you left your homework at home. You're coming to school and you left your homework at home. You guys ever done that? Or where you didn't even complete your homework and you just get this anxiety feeling, and now you're rushing first period, whatever, before the bell rings, or you're at the you're in the comments area, you're trying to quickly do your math homework, do this. You don't even care if you get like a D or a C, as long as you don't get an F, because you didn't want to bring an F home. Which let me tell you, I seldom brought B's home. I was a nerd. Okay, I was a geek. But I love the fact that a lot of you guys have done your homework and you know exactly what is exactly what is up. So bravo to you guys. BC, he was saying because of DEI, you don't know if someone's hired for their merit or their race. I want the best pilots to fly our planes. Look you. Exactly. Like, thank y'all so much. Okay, let's call right, wrong. There you go. It's yes, he said it, but things are being flipped. And I'm so tired of things being flipped. I'm sure somebody gonna remix my damn lives, remix me saying this. Like, okay, I can understand why he would say this about the civil rights or this about my. So if somebody gonna say, look at this black guy, he's saying he can understand that this white man said this about the civil rights. And then I'm sitting up here, I'm on a shit list everywhere. People are talking about me everywhere. And it's like, you guys have to have an open mind. And when I say you guys, I ain't talking about just white people, black people, Hispanics, Filipinos, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the human race. Have an open mind. I want to get ghetto. Because I was going to say, have an open mind like you open your ass to use the restroom. That's what I want to say. And I'm going to say it. So shut me down if you want to, because I'm going to say what I got to say. Have an open mind. Stop having a closed mind about things or stop getting half the story. And you think that that's okay. You get half the story, so what? That makes you a saint now? That makes you perfect? No. What you're doing is this man was assassinated. What you're doing now is you guys are like, okay, well, he was killed brutally. So, but okay, why did somebody do this? So now all these clips, all these videos circulate. They're still circulating. I know you guys are all in the algorithm with these things. Okay, so that's fine. So what's going on now is a lot of people who are on the left who was against this man, even when he was alive, now even more so in his death, after he passed, like I like to say, brutally attacked, brutally murdered. After this, so now people are generating these things. They're going in, they're showing all these clips. People got a attention span. I guess sometimes mine is short too, but I'm gonna do my research. If I have to look at something for 2 hours, I will look at it for 2 hours, because I was an A student. I didn't like to sit up here and skim over my notes. Okay, well, I know the teacher said that it's gonna be medical math on here, so don't worry about this. No, I'm worried about everything. Because I wanna dot my I's and cross my T's every time. That's the kind of student that I was. And now I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you or I'm better than this person. I just know I was a stellar damn person. I know I was a stellar performer. I know that I did my due diligence as my mom and my dad raised me. They told me to do just that. So I didn't miss the mark on any of that mess. That mess was simple. I wish life was as simple as school. I wish life was as simple as school. And people say, man, it was hard. It wasn't hard for me. It wasn't hard for me because you know what? I bust my ass, I studied, and I made sure to look into everything. Not just sit up here and just like, oh, well, let me just skim over this. Y'all are skimming over certain things because it's easy to look at some of these clips, right, and then pass judgment. You don't want to look into everything because that requires time. You don't even want to give your time to this man who lost his life by speaking the facts and speaking truth over what you would do as well. Would you want to sit up here and have somebody, let me just say this, would you want to sit up here and have somebody that's not qualified to do anything in life? I don't care what race. Would you want somebody to sit up here and be and not qualified but then be given a job? I don't think so. And if you say you do, you're just basically trying to sit up here and say that in regards, because you know, if you say you don't, you would agree with what Charlie Kirk has said, and then therefore he would win the debate, which he did win the debate. It's not up for question. You can't question it. At the end of the day, we know what's fact, and we know what's fact, we know what's pseudo. So we know what is fiction and what is real. I mean, if it doesn't get any clearer than that, I don't know. I just think some of y'all are just so brainwashed to the point where you want to believe you believe every lie that's being told, and then you have disbelief in every truth that's being told. So you can't argue with that. Like you got it's non-debatable. I mean, you can't argue with that because I can't argue with you because you don't have an open mind about it. You're somebody who's saying, okay, Terrence, the sky is pink, and I say no, the sky is blue, but there is white in it because you see the cumulus and cirrus clouds, so there's white in it. Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it can be orange, sometimes it can be reddish. But the sky is not red right now. The sky is blue. But it's going to be somebody coming in saying, no, Terrence, the sky is red. The sky is pink. The sky is orange. And they are just going to live by that. They will die by that. You think I'm going to sit up here and lose my mind and lose my cool and then have an opportunity for the live to shut down again? No, I'm not going to sit up here and give you that. Okay, believe what you want to believe. Because right now it's not registering right now that you don't get it. That's how I look at it. And it's no, I'm not going to give that my energy. It's no reason to sit up here and stress over something that's inevitable, because you're not going to let me talk. You're not going to believe what I have. Forget about believing, but you're not going to do your research about what I'm saying. People are still saying, well, he said it. He's racist. He's a racist. They're screaming it. Oh gosh. Meanwhile, somebody who is right beside you, that probably has given you $100 or something, and you didn't been over to their house. Maybe your dog sat for them or whatever. They're the real racist, and you don't even know, because you're closed-minded and you're fixated on the dollar. You don't even care about how people, view you as and stuff, as long as they're paying you. Some people for me, some people are just too ignorant. I'm just keeping it real. We all can have those ways, because honestly, we don't know everything. So if you don't know, you do what you know. But when you know better, you do better. So now that you know this, okay, do the research for yourself, because it's all out there. And I don't care what anybody says. Yes, this is internet, this is social media, but there's a lot of truth on here, but people don't want to look at that. And then look at the consistency of what the man was saying. That's also something that you have to understand. When there's consistency in people, I'm just going to keep it real. When someone never, at the end of the day, let me just say this. I want to be very careful, because a lie can be consistent as well. But when someone never, ever veers off of the idea, of the mindset, of the objective, of the agenda, of the main focus, my money's on them. And this man never veered away from that. He stayed true. He knew that it was controversial about some things he's going to say. He knew that some people are going to get upset. He spoke about this. He spoke about, okay, with the MAGA, make America great again, with these hats, these shirts, this and this and that. He knew people were going to become so irate that they would even, they would probably result to violence. And he was assassinated. Never should have been, but he was. Alpha Mom, thank you so much, Josh. And they have the context of racism from 2 seconds and didn't go look at the clip. Ignorance. And Josh, I gotta agree with you. And that is not something negative. If he's saying ignorance, that's appropriate. That's correct. Ignorance is real. Ignorance is bliss. I mean, we know the saying and stuff, but it's a real thing. And like I said, we all could have, at the end of the day, I don't think people understand that. If I were to call somebody ignorant, that does not make me a hateful, ignorant, racist person. If you're ignorant, you're ignorant. That means you don't know what you're speaking on, and you decide to speak on these things and not do your homework. And in my opinion, I think that's what happens with a lot of those people, be it white, black. It was some Mexicans come up there. It was a couple of Filipinos. These people came and talked to Charlie Kirk. He gave them a freaking mic. Everybody could hear. Everybody could listen. They knew what they were getting themselves involved with. And hardly of them came with facts. Emotions are not facts. Let me say this again. Emotions are not facts. And I don't, if you can hate me for saying that, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm so tired of that. How I feel about this, honestly, okay, at the end of the day, you can say, okay, Terrence, that don't matter. But at the end of the day, what you probably gonna say too is, yeah, that's okay, he deserved to die, whatever. But you guys, it doesn't make sense. The man was fighting with words. If he's fighting with words. Why would somebody want to come and shoot somebody who is speaking about things they're saying things, okay, why does that result in violence? But again, You know, and when he spoke about, I gotta keep talking about this because I grew up in the projects, you guys. I grew up in an environment that was so heavy populated with drugs and prostitution and and violence. I mean, I remember being 6 years old, seeing men just fighting, seeing a man get stabbed, seeing a man. I didn't see the man get shot, but I saw the aftermath of him laying in the street, my right hand to God. I saw this at an early age. My mom and my dad tried their best to protect us from all that craziness. We never, even my sisters to this day, like, they didn't have kids, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, but they didn't have kids when they were teenagers, even their early 20s. They had children when they were established. I didn't go around sitting up here abusing women and being nasty and bullying and stuff. I was bullied, but I was a loving individual, and I'm a loving individual now. They raised us beautifully, and I'm gonna be honest, our environment didn't have any impacts on us because of how my mom and my dad raised us. Now somebody gonna sit up here and say, well, okay, well, that's not everybody. That's not everybody. And I'm not trying to say we were lucky. I don't even believe in luck. I believe in God. I believe in being blessed. Okay, we were in the books. We were focused. There's a lot of black people who are focused. There's a lot of black people who are not. There's a lot of white people who aren't focused. There's a lot of white people who are focused. But the facts of the matter is, a lot of what I saw growing up, it was black on black. And why? Okay, so it's okay for me to talk about it, but it's not okay for Charlie Kirk to talk about it. Y'all got to realize that in itself that's not okay. That's not fair. That's not cool. Everybody has the right to talk about anything they want to speak on. But to flip these words and flip all this, and now you're calling him a racist because of what he believed in, to me, I don't know. That's crazy as hell. That's crazy. Dunn said, you can't reason with these radical leftists. But why can't we agree to disagree, though? Are we never going to get to the point where we can agree to disagree? So can nobody who's liberal, right? Can none of you guys agree? Can none of you agree with me that we should be able to agree to disagree? Can we not even do that? Because if I'm serious, if we're not going to be able to do this, you guys, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. Lord forbid anybody else. And like I said, I pray for Candace. I pray for everybody on both parties. I don't like this violence, you guys. Somebody came in with a senator and the husband and stuff, whatever, and all that of the senator was killed in this. I said, you think that I don't know that? You think that I condone that? You think that I think that that's okay? I said the reason why it's not being talked about as much, and it's wrong, it's devastating, but they weren't in the public eye as much. And on top of that, people aren't mocking the death. They're trying to bring everybody to justice. This is being mocked. You have some people in the Secret Service laughing about this. You have people in higher positions laughing about this. This is the part, for me, this is when it becomes like, okay, this is dangerous. This is scary because it's people who really think this is okay. It's people in the medical field, and their main focus, and I know my mission statement everywhere I go. I know my mission statement of these hospitals. And I can tell you right now, with the facility I'm at now, with the organization I work at, the mission statement is beautiful. And we want to sit up here. We want to spread love. We want to show compassion and care within our community and other communities and other surrounding communities. We want to help save lives. And I can tell you this much, a lot of people are doing just that. But there are people who apparently seem to be on the left side. And it's like, wait a second now. Hey, we at work. You can be left, you can be right, you can be in between, you can walk, I don't know, you can walk upside down and crawl like a damn a tarantula if you want to. But our main focal point, the main point right now while we're at work and we're clocked in, is this patient. That's number one, and that will always be number one. So you need to know how to turn these things off, as I do. I'm not going into work and just talking and all this willy. I don't even like to engage. When I engaged last week, or I can say this early, like when I engaged Monday, when she kept prying and forcing and all that stuff. Again, she didn't put a gun in my head, but I told her about who I voted for. I talked about this, I talked about that. The woman just flat out called me dumb. I said, okay, it's fine. And she was like, well, I'm sorry. I said, no need to apologize. I said, I don't take offense to that. Right now, I'm telling you, I've told when I was in Iowa, I said, when I was in West Virginia, I said, you guys can sit down all day long at your dinner table and say nigger, 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 nigger. And yes, I said just that. Okay, I said that. And I said, you can say it right now. That's never going to upset me. That does not define me. I'm telling you guys, I'm not bothered by those words. A lot of black people get upset with me, and I'm saying this because I know for a fact, even when I was in school, college that is, would get upset and get bothered because it's like, well, you should be ashamed of yourself, young man. I shouldn't be ashamed of myself. You need to be ashamed of yourself. You can't tell me what I should or should not be doing, especially when it comes to me. I know how the hell I feel about this. I don't care. You know what I'm pissed off about? When I used to go to McDonald's, which I haven't been to McDonald's in over 2 years, when they asked, what kind of sausage you like? They asked me that when I would go to the drive-thru. So you asking me what kind of sauce would I like, and I tell you sweet and sour for my chicken nuggets, and I look in the damn bag, the sauce ain't in the bag. The sauce ain't nowhere to be found. That's what's gonna piss me off. What's gonna piss me off is when you sit up here and you physically attack my nieces and nephews. You physically put harm towards my family members, towards people that I love and that I support. Those are the things that piss me off. I don't care if you say this, you say that, whatever the case. I don't care. What did one of my nephews said? Okay, the teacher was talking about, wow, you know, those shoes you got on are so expensive. I can't believe your mom bought that. And he says, okay, thank you, God bless you. That's what he said. This is a 9-year-old child at the time saying, thank you, okay, God bless you. And he goes and tells his mom, and Keisha's like, amen, that's spot on, that's right. You're not gonna sit up here. What you want? You want the little black boy that has beads in his hair or dreads with little beads on it. You want him to sit up here and say F off, or you want him to be disruptive? None of those kids are disruptive. Those kids are leaders. They're leaders, and they're children, and they're leaders. They're exceptional. And I'm not being biased. They are that. These kids are better content creators. They're better content creators than I am. Hell, they can edit better than me. No, I mean, and maybe you guys have some children that are absolutely brilliant, right? It's like, damn, they come out of the womb with so much intelligence. And these are children. Why can't us as adults understand the fact what's right and what's wrong? You know dang well it's not okay to sit up here and want to assassinate somebody's character and also take their lives based off of what they believed in. And then when they die, people want to sit up here and bring all these clips of YouTube and show that, oh yeah, see, they said it. They said this, they said that. That is unacceptable. That's not even remotely true. But people are going to see these things and believe it. They're going to believe it, I mean, wholeheartedly, and before they even do their own research. Y'all, get your own opinion, get your own interpretation. Really look past the surface. You got to get past the surface. You got to go deep to the core. Go deep to the core of that cell. Y'all are stuck up. Y'all stuck up on the, y'all stuck up in the grass. You need to get down to the roots. Understand that this man was not a racist. This man did not hate black people. Let me just be clear. The man didn't hate. He wasn't spewing or spreading hate. What it is, he was saying some things that were so, at times, it can be so controversial. It can be so like, oh my gosh, this is impossibly, this is arguably and possibly the most, craziest debate, because he's saying this, he's saying this, he's saying that, he's saying it with aggression. Okay, does that make him a hateful, evil person? No. That doesn't make him a hateful, evil person. I'm looking for someone to dox. Okay, that's so crazy, but don't dox me. No, you fine. You can play here. Yeah, no problem. You're good. You're welcome. L.A. Mello said you rather hire a random black person than another with skill. That's what he did. That's what DEI did. Josh said these racism in the world for sure, but it wasn't Charlie Kirk. It wasn't Josh. You know what? And that's what I said. People can believe that or not, but that's really what it is. It's so crazy that people don't understand right from wrong, and they're gonna believe what they believe. They're gonna believe what they believe. I guess I can go crazy thinking about this, because I mean it's just sad that folks don't get it. Folks do not get it. DEI is not give me a job because I am black. Cloven B said the hate was from DUI, from giving people special treatment over others by race. You see, if you really wanted to end the problems like that, you wouldn't call attention or give anybody special treatment. I agree. I said, you know what? I was saying that when I be at the OR, I be inside the OR, and we're operating on the CEO. I've operated on several CEOs. I operated on the CEO in Aspen, Colorado. I operated on the CEO's wife. She had a baby, and we did. She had a not an emergency C-section. She had a scheduled C-section. That baby was big as hell. That baby was 9 pounds, big healthy baby. But she's the CEO's wife. You think I'm gonna give her special treatment versus the guy that's we operated on who was on the street? No, they all get the same treatment. And it's gonna be the best treatment though. It's gonna be the most amazing treatment. You're gonna get some of the warmest blankets. You're gonna get the most biggest southern. I was even bigger back then. My face was even bigger. You're gonna get a big southern smile. It's gonna be positive. It's gonna be positive. It's not gonna be negative. I like to speak about positivity. I don't want to be negative. And I'm telling you, this woman, like the card that she gave me was exceptional. I mean, I still have all these cards and all these things that I got from these hospitals because they were so appreciative. And every now and then, like these people are on Facebook. I'm on Facebook and stuff, and I'm Facebook friends with a lot of these people, a lot of my past co-workers and people that I worked with, and it's so awesome to see, like, oh my gosh, these kids are so big now, and you know, it's just crazy. And I was a part of that. And like, again, yes, I see color, right? But it doesn't matter if you white, if you black, if you're Hispanic, if you're whatever the case may be, whatever you want to identify as, I'm going to give you the best care. And it doesn't matter how much money is in your bank account. I've operated on a couple of billionaires. I've operated on a couple of billionaires, definitely millionaires. A lot. I've done a lot of that. I mean, there's so many millionaires around here that's like not in the public eye, and that's kind of how I want to be when I become a millionaire. I'm not that far off. I'm gonna be a millionaire, okay? I'm claiming it. I'm gonna manifest it. But real talk, I just feel like that is real talk, by the way. But I'm manifesting it. But I'm just saying in other terms, like, you know, I'm so serious. I'm gonna give respect to everybody, and I think that's exactly what you guys got it right about. The fact of the matter, he said that, and he was like, I don't care. He's saying, I don't care what race, whatever the case may be, but you need to be qualified. And that's just the bottom line. And I'm so tired of people getting this mixed up. You're getting it mixed up because that's what social media is all about. It's about mixing things up, because if it's mixed up, what does that mean? It's drama. If it's drama, what does that mean? Drama's gonna sell. If they're selling, who's making money? That content creator, and also YouTube itself. They're all making money, so they want to keep. I'm just keeping it real. I know people be like, okay, so you're saying YouTube is this? I'm saying YouTube isn't gonna stop it. Explain to me, why was that video viral within moments, 150 views, and now it's even more viewed? Why is that, you guys? Why wasn't that taken down immediately? But then we get the person on, we get a person who's on a killing spree or whatever and stuff, and that's being taken down immediately, or everything is blurred out. You realize, like, there is power in all of that. They're able to do those things. You realize that. But they didn't shut down those videos, and that's why I thought it was actually quite weird. Yeah, I5 was. Laura Jones, hello Laura. You said, is it okay if he was? It is okay if he was. God judges, let it go. You're talking about if he was racist? Laura, what do you mean? Cloven B says, but they wanted us to stop thinking about a class war and the rich versus the poor, so they turned it into a race war. Agreed. Artemis says, people act like DEI is only race-based, and it's not. You know what, Artemis, I'm gonna tell you this. That's your opinion, and you have every right for your opinion. I get it. I understand. Cloven B says, and there's your take from 150. But it is, I've been at it because of my color. You've been attacked or hated. Okay, I'm sorry. I see. Okay, I get it. You see, I'm looking. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I saying the word wrong? So IFH said I've been hated because of my color and I'm white. I agree. I know. I'm telling you, it's in every race. And because I remember I said that in a reunion, not a class reunion. It was a family reunion, and I better do that because it's a lot of like my family reunion has like my family reunion consists of whites, blacks, like Hispanics, Filipinos, like just a melting pot of people. And I'm being so honest. I'm being honest. A lot of people, obviously, you know, married outside the race and had children, and which is a beautiful thing. Nothing's wrong with that. But so when you collectively have a bunch of people, you have a lot of different, you have a lot of different like opinions and insights and personalities and all that, whatever. But with that being said, all of those people, or I'm saying all of those people, no matter what race, have been hated upon, hated. They've had hate towards them, and a lot of it is stemming from the fact that even within the family, some of the family, I'm not gonna lie, probably didn't support the fact of the matter that okay, you married outside the race, which I never understood that. It doesn't matter who you love or what you about and stuff. I never figured that. I never thought that was something that you should be focused on. I didn't think, you know, but people do focus on that, which is kind of crazy, you know. Let's keep looking over here. Cloven B said jobs hired based on skill usually. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Faith Mamba, hey, he stood up for what he knew and believed was right. I agree. And no matter what, like I said, some things I disagree with, a lot of things I agree with. What I'm saying is, you know, you don't mock the death of anybody. The assassination in particular, I mean, that to me, that's just so evil. It's so wrong. And now you're trying to paint the picture that, okay, he was racist. I don't know why people do that. Patriot Grimm, Christo Grimm says DEI will specifically give me a job because I'm black, literally. Okay, I got what you were saying. IFH hated, yeah. I was like, acted hated, but I figured it out. Thank you so much for clearing it up, though. Faded 702 said DEI is based on race. Josh Chandler said nobody said it was only race based. That's his issue. You guys want to argue semantics. Oh my gosh, I just love you, Josh, and not the problem. Exactly. Like people, I don't know. Like I think people run with it. And let me tell you this much, Josh. You know what? This is coming from a black brother. Okay, because you say you guys, people gonna say, oh, see, he talking about the whites, he talking about this, he talking about the blacks, he talking about that, and it's like, no. It's so many sensitive, closed-minded people, and that's the issue. That's the problem. I really do feel like you can't even say that without being called, you know, without the racial slurs. And it's like, no, you know damn well I don't mean it in that way. You know that, but you want to run with it because, oh, it can be looked at like I'm saying it this way. And it's not that. It's just stating facts. But again, like I said, I'm afraid to even say left or right, correct or wrong. Let me just say this, right or wrong, or right or left, because now so many people say, oh, well, you know, well, you got to stop putting the categories. It's like, but that's what it is, though. You have to be able to understand that the facts are the facts, and it is what it is. Like, this is what I have to say because this is what it is. And I'm being ridiculed and talked about or placed into like the dumb category because, oh, he's speaking about this. Well, this is important, and this is we're laying it out. We're laying the issues out, and people, we're trying to get a solution, and it's going to get a little murky, right? We're going to be in murky water before it's all blue and like, you know, like over in the Caribbean or whatever and stuff, beautiful blue, you know, water and stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to get through the nitty gritty to get to see the beauty of all of this. But why can't we agree and just move on from things? Why are we, you know, back and forth? Because it's like, oh, well, see, you said this. People like to jump and pass judgment and they don't get the whole story. And it's like, I don't know. Some people say, no, I got the whole story and it don't matter. I know, because just look at him. So one woman was like, well, he was a racist because he liked Trump. I said, well, I voted. I'm laughing because this part is funny. Because I'm like, well, I voted for him. And I know that I'm not racist against my own race. I'm not racist against any race. I'm not. I'm just not. Like, I'm not. I don't hate people. I don't want to see people hurt. I don't. I do not hate people. I'm just so like, what the hell, people? What the hell? What is going on? Like, look at me. Like, I'm not a hateful person. I don't understand that. I looked at Charlie Kirk, and I've been following him for quite some time. I'm like, this man is not hate. If anything, he is trying to eliminate that, which he knew that was like almost an impossible task, because there are so many hateful people in the world, and there's so many angry people. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, so many angry black people, there's so many angry white people, and it's almost like they're kind of conditioned, in a sense. And I don't know, it's just discouraging, it's so discouraging. I'm just like, y'all ain't tired. I would be so tired. I would be so tired of having all this, this agony and all this, like this toxicity in my life based off of, okay, yeah, my ancestors went through a whole lot, but I'm not going through that. And I know that's going to upset people too. And people are going to be like, well, everybody didn't have a mom and daddy like you. And I'm like, okay, precisely. Okay, so you hate me because my mom and my dad were together for 33 years. My mom and my dad like supported us. My mom and my dad encouraged us. My dad read us bedtime stories. Mostly Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I love that story. And then the woman in the shoe. Remember the woman in the shoe? He read us that as well. But at the end of the day, like, I'm blessed. I am blessed. I'm grateful for him to have done that, because I don't know how my life would be. It could probably be better. It could probably be worse. I'm just saying the statistics of it all does not lie. And I'm saying it, and I'm a black person, so I know, like I said, it irritates people. I'm not trying to irritate you, but it's inevitable. You're gonna come to the live streams, you're gonna see things, you're gonna look on social media. Social media is not going anywhere. I'm not lying, it's not going anywhere. TikTok will be forever, YouTube will be forever in my book. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. It brings in revenue. It's almost like chemo. It ain't going nowhere. No matter what technology is doing, it ain't going nowhere. The pharmaceutical business, it brings in a lot of revenue. Be it good, bad, and different. At the end of the day, I can understand, and I can agree with things, I disagree with things, and I can continue to live my life, because that's not going to impact me. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow morning, Lord willing, I wake up, but I'm not going to go into work and be angry because there were people coming into the stream being so derogatory, making derogatory remarks towards me, or racial slurs, or just calling me idiots, or calling people within the chat idiots and stuff. I hope you guys don't let that affect you, because it's not going to affect me. It's not. I'm not going to allow that to happen. As you can see, even my attitude from earlier, like in the other stream, like last night and stuff, and then yesterday, it has changed. I'm not going to let people come in and corrupt me. And I don't want people corrupting you guys. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. Patriot again said, Josh, you're just ignorant and stupid and don't feel bad. I mean, just one thing that I want people to understand is, please come to the live stream and be respectful of everyone in here, not just of me, not just of yourself, but everyone. Everybody has a voice, and I want everybody to be able to talk. And I don't have my comments slowed. I want you to come in. I want you to say some things. Say your piece, but don't be disrespectful in that. And please, like, stop with the stupid. Ignorance is one thing, but stupid is like, I mean, I think that is, you're trying to, that from my perspective, it's like degrading, and that's not okay. To be honest, I don't want to say anybody is stupid. I do think that there's some ignorance going on, but I think it's a way to say things. Artemis says, so silly. DEI is diversity and inclusion, including veterans, disabled people, and all other marginalized groups of people that are also qualified. So Charlie and a lot of people are wrong about DEI. And that's your God-given right to think that. But what the guy came in and said, maybe some ladies as well, well, he said this about blacks. He's not gonna fly on he's not gonna fly on that plane. And if there's a black pilot. Well, you guys are missing out on the other parts of the story. That's where the argument is at, or the debate, or the conflict, or whatever the case, or the issue, if you want to say. That's where it exists. You're saying what he said, but you're not saying it in its entirety. So you can't do that. It's almost like the husband that tells the wife, "Oh no, I wasn't lying to you. I just didn't mention that." Well, you omitted that. So you got to tell the whole truth, because the whole truth is the truth. The whole truth is just ain't part of the truth. So, okay, you guys want to come in, you want to come in with facts, you want to come in about how you feel about the thing. Well, I need you to sit up here and comment everything surrounding that issue, surrounding that situation. Because he knew. Once he said it, and it's even quoted, he was like, I know that would be wrong. So he's telling you that, you guys, he was very much so aware. So that's the deal too. Like, how would that even like, translate to racism? If you know what you're saying is wrong, like, I don't know, because in my mind, I feel like the people, and I know, Lord knows, I've been around some racist people, they always felt like they were right about things. Everything that they spoke about, it was never wrong, and they never took accountability, and they didn't have to, because, okay, they're always right. This young man was accountable. He knew that that is wrong, and he's saying it that way. He's trying to explain to you that, hell yeah, I'm not going to sit up here. Okay, if you're basing this off of the race and not skill, of course, and I'm with him. I'm with him. I don't care. I'm just keeping it 100. But people don't want to sit up here and look at the whole story, and it drags, because it's unfortunate that that's what we can do. We can do this. A lot of people, like I said, they are brilliant content creators. They can edit. They can twist stories around to make people believe whatever they want to believe. Or they can make people believe what they want people to believe based off of those videos. So you know how you just like, they take little segments from here. I can do it. I'm telling you, I can do it from this live stream. This live stream, let me just say this, is positive, right, in regards to Charlie Kirk, in regards to just peace and life, humanity. But I can edit certain things that I'm reading from you guys, right? So I'm verbally saying it. Oh, Charlie Kirk, he was a racist. He was this. And I can put it, I can go right now to Power Video Maker. I can go right now to InShots. I can go to Canva. And I'm telling you guys, like, literally, I can edit the things out and make it seem like, this or that. That's what I can do. And that's exactly what is being done to tarnish, his reputation, to assassinate his character after the fact that he was assassinated, physically taken off of this earth. That's despicable. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. It is the most ultimate disrespectful thing for anybody to ever have to endure, based off of their beliefs and trying to find peace within the democracy. I mean, this is just so sad. It's so sad. And now I can't speak on certain things because I'm black, and it's like, I shouldn't like him. And how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? You guys want to ask me questions about how do I feel about this situation. And really what you want to ask is, why do you support this man? Because he believed in this. Okay. Why do you support? I mean, why y'all eating McDonald's? Why y'all eat fast food? That's cancer. It has carcinogenic, cells in it. It's cancerous. You could potentially die from that food. Why you eating there? I'm not asking y'all that. It don't matter, because you know why? It's good to you. You like it. It's affordable. Not really nowadays. Hell, McDonald's. Like, I haven't been in over 2 years. Y'all know I'm watching my weight and stuff. I'm on a weight loss journey, but it's expensive. But I'm just saying, it is still less expensive than the eating healthier. But I'm not asking y'all that. Y'all grown. You can eat what you want to eat. You can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. Be it right or wrong, that doesn't mean that someone should kill you. I'm never going to sit up here and not speak on or not mention that, because that's the main objective. I want to make sure people understand the main focal point of these live streams, of why I say this and why what's wrong with this dude? Why is he talking about this? What's the significance? This is weird. He's just so strange. No, I'm not strange. I'm real. Not true. Why am I blocked? LaMelo. You're not blocked. I haven't blocked anybody. Nobody on this stream has been blocked. I have not blocked anybody. And I'm reading your comments. Can't y'all see LaMelo's comment? Artemis, you are stupid. Patriot Grimm, please just be respectful. Nobody's stupid. At the end of the day, I'm not calling anybody stupid. I mean, some people are hateful. They definitely are ignorant, but I'm not going to call them stupid. I'm not going to call them trash. I will say that some people are evil, but I just think stupid. I just think that that's like a very degrading, diminishing, disrespectful word. Like, no one's stupid. I've been called stupid. I've been called dumb, and it's not a good feeling. And in a sense, that's a bully. That's what a bully would say. The semantics are the problem. Josh, you said the semantics are the problem or the solution. They are what idiot shows to focus on. Protect their own and protect their emotional problems. Their emotional opinions. Root word, they're being emotional. Absolutely. Emotion is a beautiful thing, and emotion is a dangerous thing. Especially in this sense, it's very dangerous. It's because people get so emotional, they get so tied up with, okay, well, I feel this way and this is not right, to the point where they're like, they're climbing, they're going on top of buildings and killing people. This ain't the first time this has happened, by the way, y'all. If you had money and you wanted to be rich or more rich, would you go after people to make you look good, for the people that work their asses off for you to show up every day and get 10 hours worth in 6? Wait, if you had money and you wanted to be rich or more rich, would you go after people to make you look good, for the people that work their asses off for you show up every day and get 10 hours worth it in 6? Okay, so if you had money and you wanted to, so you're basically saying, Calvin, you saying that, like, okay, if I want to be rich, let me go after people who work their ass off. Well, I work my ass off. I work in surgery. I work my ass off. I'm going to work tomorrow voluntarily. Now, I'm getting paid. Okay, let me just be clear. But voluntarily, but I'm going to go to work, and it's going to be a tumultuous, busy day. But I'm going to work my ass off like I worked my ass off this week. I've gotten lots of hours. Tomorrow, Lord willing, I'm going to get, it will either be right at 60 or maybe 62 hours, depending on if I do the extra 2 hours when I get to work. Because that's an option. But I'm also gonna work part Sunday. So that's why even with my friends and certain things, I haven't been talking as much, because a lot of the time is dedicated to YouTube and it's dedicated to surgery. Like that, those are my jobs, being a content creator and having a career and within the medical field. So I work my butt off. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I don't know about that, because I don't know about that. I work my butt off. And again, I don't try to piggyback off of anybody else. Like even their names, like people keep talking about, oh, you trying to go viral. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I've had viral videos. I've made tons of money before I even mentioned Charlie Kirk, before I even mentioned Donald Trump. I made lots of money. I don't understand that. Like, this is content. This is life. These are things that I want to talk about. And I've already said that I discuss any and everything under the sun. I'm so real. I'm the guy who, let me just say this from my understanding, because I looked on YouTube and stuff, but I was the one that was talking about how in growing up in a black family, obviously, I was like, it was so hard for the men in the family to say they love each other, because they didn't want to be seen as weak. They didn't want to be seen as feminine or gay, because it's like, oh wow, black men, okay, can't say that I love each other. And really, and it stemmed from maybe the father saying I love you, or kissing the son on the cheek, or kissing the son, or whatever stuff. Okay, that looked at something weird. Why is that weird? That's not weird. But that's another live stream. But I'm just saying, I've talked about these things, and it's like, let's bring it to the forefront. Why is that weird? Why is that strange? That's not strange. I feel like, more than ever, we need to have that in our family. That's also something that I wish that, okay, would have been brought up. It's important. It's important. It's relevant. And I don't think people understand, like, how that can affect people. And it's affected probably a lot of men, a lot of black men. It's probably affected a lot of black men because they didn't have that affection from their fathers, even if their fathers were around. Now that's something that I said, okay, I felt like, Charlie Kirk could have, also spoke about or spoke on, because yes, some of them, some of these kids, they did, they do have their, they definitely have their fathers in their lives. But let me just say, some of those black men, yes, their fathers were in their life, but at the same time, it's emotional wreck, because like they're not affectionate. There was no affection. Oh man. Real people respect other people's opinions. He hated people's opinions. How do you think that? Why do you think that? You sound like Charlie's secret lover, dude. Uh, D. Brian, I don't know why, but I will. Secret lovers, that's what we are. I'm sorry. I really like that song. I know I have an awesome content creator, an awesome supporter of my channel. Her name is Beth Bits and Pieces, and she loves chicken, and I love chicken, and she's over in the UK. And so when she comes in, we started this thing where we're like chicken lovers, and I'll be like, chicken lovers, that's what we are. But anyway, that comment makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. Thank you though. Laura Jones said, how you know him like that, dude? Okay, Laura. All right, this is a deal. No one is saying, we gotta stop this too. No one is saying that I was in his household, that I was doing this. I'm only going. How do y'all know me? Because you're only going by social media. At the end of the day, you're only going by social media. That's what you're doing. So how do you know me? So I know of him because of social media. That's all it is. Like, you got to stop with this trying to flip the script and all this stuff. Like that type of stuff is not gonna, that's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. Faded 702 said, Artemis, you're reframing DEI, but it's based on race. LOL. Exactly, Faded. IFH says trolls are funny. Trolls are funny. They're hilarious. Cloven B said, I don't know how he works. It's just truth about DEI. Faith Mumby, he was about the truth. God's word being the only truth, and nothing like the truth is relevant according to science. LaMelo said, D. Bryant, you're a child. Oh gosh. Patriot said DEE was based on race and gender, not who had the best skill for a job. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. Like, are we not going to do our research? Like, I mean, are we not going to use all the technology we have in this freaking world? Are we not going to use it? Are we purposely doing that? Is that the thing for today? This is the agenda, not to use the research that God has given us? Is that what we're doing? Um, Huge Harris says people are just too damn sensitive these days. Oh my God, Huge. Huge, were you at work? Were you at work with me this week? I said this. I'm telling you, the student just started crying. I told her, I said, you need to pay attention. You need to focus. You need to be able to anticipate. You must be able to anticipate the doctor's every need before he even needs it. But I said that's gonna come with you. That's gonna come with consistency. I don't expect for you to do this right on this case. But this is the 4th case we've been on together, and you're still not anticipating because you're listening to the music. Taylor Swift come on. I love Taylor Swift. I love that woman, and she's incredible. That woman is like young and educated, and like I cannot believe how like she's just a go-getter. That's another person who is not about a handout. She go out there and make it work, and that's the problem with some of these liberals. I'm just saying they got their hands out. I'm just saying with some of them. But at the end of the day, she's singing, she dancing. I said, you're not paying attention. This girl, literally, after the case, we were gonna finish up soon. We were. This case was probably like an hour. We were like 5 minutes from finishing up and all that. And she had just never paid attention in the case. And this is like the 4th case. Simple case though. This girl starts crying. Her instructor is the person I work with. So she starts crying. The instructor tells me, and I said, hey, do you feel like with that attitude that this person is cut out for the job? And she goes, well, I see potential. I said, I see potential too. That's why I'm hard on her. Everybody I see potential in, I'm going to be hard on. That doesn't mean I'm going to be disrespectful. But this woman literally started crying. And it's like, oh my gosh, y'all, I've been bullied. I've been harassed. I don't ever want anybody to come across like that. But now when you're just telling people, you're doing constructive criticism and telling them they need to pay attention because that's the truth, they start crying. Now, let me tell you this, fast forward, Wednesday comes, it's a whole different student. This woman is coming in, she's alert, she's focused, she's ready, as she should have been Monday. Now, I'm not trying to just toot my own horn, but that's what we need. We need less sensitive people, especially in every field, every area. And that's why I love President Trump. That is, yo, I love him. I love him. You can't make me dislike him. Your damn show can't make me hate him because I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anything. But I must say, people are sensitive. I mean, I think that's a great way to sum it up. Sensitivity is like it's the part of the new world. People are just sensitive. Not everybody, but I just think a lot of people are sensitive. And that's why I said when the doctor was talking about, the student losing her mom. But Terrence, I know you lost your mom to ovarian cancer, but that was years ago. She just lost her mom last month. I said, and I was like, I did a short. I was like, am I being sensitive? And people were like, no, Terrence, that was insensitive. Like, how are you going to sit up here and put a time or make this about a time thing? That's unacceptable. And so I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm becoming sensitive. But I'm like, no, I'm not sensitive because at the end of the day, like, I must say, I don't really give a F-U-C-K. But that was alarming because I'm like, wait a second, you shouldn't want to do that. You can't put a time on grief. Everybody grieves differently. That's why I said people talking about his wife, and it's like, okay, she feels the way she feels and she's going to act the way she act. I don't know why people are so quick to judge and they're not even in that situation. But oh well. Clovis says, I work trying for full time now, but the most time I've spent working full time as a single father of 2 for the last 10 years. I've been working for 26 years though. Wow, Clovis, that's impressive. Well, thank you so much for all your hard work. Seriously. Josh said he has the name after D-E-Z. Brian talking about D writing LOL. Cloven B said, if you have excuses and can't produce, they don't want you. Wow. Artemis says, if you're a normal working class American and you still agree with Charlie Kirk or Trump, you are lost in this sauce and just reacting without knowing. Huh? What? Artemis, what are you talking? Artemis, do you realize that? Okay, conservative. Okay, I can't even speak right now because I'm like laughing. Conservative and liberals. Conservatives they do work hard. They work hard. They don't want they don't have their hands out. They believe in giving, but they believe in giving to people who who deserve for it to be received. What are you talking about? That's President Trump and literally Charlie Kirk. Get the hell out of here. Hardworking as hell, yo. This man worked his ass off for his empire. You're saying if you're a normal working class American and you still agree with Charlie Kirk, okay. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't read it right, because I guess I'm not normal. I'm not normal working. I'm excessively working. I abnormally work. I work way more hours than the average person. How many hours did you get this week? And this week is not over. This week is technically over Sunday. I hope and pray whoever they're going to is okay. Every time I see an ambulance, I just, my heart. See, that's just the medical. That's the medical in me, you know. I just want people to live, even people who don't like me or hate me. I want y'all to live here. I want you to live another day so we can just debate and argue another day. You know, I don't want to see people die. I don't want to see people getting killed. Stop this mess. This is not the way that God intended for us as humans to behave. And that's just that's my interpretation. That's how I feel. Thou shalt not kill. Stop killing each other. Stop doing this. I don't care white on white, black on black, Democrats over Republicans, or whatever the case may be. Stop killing people. Learn to walk away. Learn to be like, okay, y'all called me stupid up in here. I hope you don't want to kill me though. Okay, you can call me stupid. I'll be stupid, but just walk away. That's what I want to get. I want to get that message across. It's okay to not agree with people, and it's okay to walk away from solutions. It's okay to feel defeated even. I've been defeated on the tennis court, not that many times, but no, I've lost. I lose graciously, and I say, okay, you know what? I'll get them next time. And I come back on this court, even though I haven't really been hitting because I've been running my mouth. I'm gonna get back to playing. Oh, it's a lot of messages saying hell for review. No, Artemis, you are stupid because you believe in DEI was one thing when it actually is another yet. Effing ignorant. Okay, I'm gonna have to hide that. You guys, okay, let's refrain from being like hateful towards each other, please. You need to be able to do 10 hours of work in 4 hours rather than 4 hours worth of work in 2 days. IFH, you said, I really don't care who hates me because of what I can stay away from people. Yeah, I agree. Faith Mom said huge habits, probably that's their way of growing up, my view. That's the lesson I've learned as I get older. Y'all, there's a lot of messages that are being held for review. I'm not even gonna show them. Unfortunately, you know, YouTube is sensitive, but y'all, if you're swearing, and Lord knows I'm a cursing Christian, and I condone, you know, cursing and all that. But if you're swearing and you're putting it in the comments, it's probably gonna be held for review. So therefore, I'm not gonna be able to read the comment because I'm not gonna press on it. LaMelo said, Artemis, you don't truly understand Charlie because you never taken the time to watch anything with him other than hate channels. LaMelo, I have to agree with you. I have to agree. People aren't, they're not taking the chances. They're not. And that's just fact. They're not taking the chances to go out and like truly look at who he was, look at what he was about. If you are normal working class and been led by Democrats for basically the last 12 years and satched the country be destroyed by Democrats and haven't woke up, you are the problem, Artemis. Josh, I'm sorry. I was trying to like read some of the things, but I know y'all are coming to your ass off, and I guess some of it's gonna be like we're gonna mess up some of the words. But Josh, hey, when you're right, you're right. I know folks are gonna get pissed off at me because they're gonna think, okay, oh, he's taking sides, he's doing this. But you're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. That's how I look at it. You guys, I'm gonna get back to hitting on the tennis court. Hold on 1 second. Well, I say the tennis court, but on the backboard. And this sun is like, oh my gosh, it's hot. It's toasty out here. Woo. There's so much water behind me too. If I hit the ball over there, oh my gosh, this guy that I played tennis with, and he's a little different, which I'm not trying to be mean about, but if he comes over, I'm not gonna play with him. Okay, I'm gonna hit the backboard, y'all, and then hit the backboard a little bit, then I'll get off live. Artemis says, hell of an assumption to make. Also, you're LGBTQ. Oh Lord. Lamello, if you had, you know why we feel the way we do. Trump's whole entirety of this first term was a witch hunt. Every few months dealing with hocus pocus legal actions. Artemis says, don't get triggered by that. He thinks his rights and opinions make up reality. Nope. Mix them up. They still ain't gonna like your video cause you black. Crazy assumptions in here about a lot of things. The left has canceled a lot of people, hypocrites. Cheryl, thank you so much for saying that. No life matters really when it comes down to it. Damn, Cloven, that's kind of deep. It seemed as if you're right? Damn, I don't want to agree with you, but I have to agree with you because look at what people are doing with their human rights. I mean, they're killing all the killing and the violence. I mean, that's true. Unfortunate. This is not easy. I know a lot of people left because he's hitting the ball. He's not talking. Thank y'all for being in here still. Some of you guys. Oh, a lot of you. God's honor, thank you. A lot of messages held for review. I'm sure it's a lot of hate. I don't know how much about Kirk, but appreciate him hosting conversations. It is appropriate to use his assassination to lash out at the left before understanding the motivators of his killer. Is it appropriate to use his assassination to lash out at the left before understanding the motivation of his killer? You're asking me, is it appropriate? I'm not trying to lash out at anybody. I'm speaking the truth. And at the end of the day, left, white, green, blue, purple, up, down, middle, round, whatever, Trump, Peggy, Scott, whoever. I'm talking about the fact of the matter that Charlie Kirk was not a racist. Charlie Kirk should not have been assassinated. I'm barely even bringing up the fucking left. I said it myself. I said, even some people who consider this left thing, this left wing, this right wing, there's people on both sides who are probably have laughed at the fact that this man was assassinated. That's what I'm trying to convey. That it's not right. It's not right. If you saying this is lashing out, that's how you interpret it. I cannot force you to believe, or, I don't know, I'm only doing what I know to do and say what I know to say and what I feel. But no, this is not me trying to attack anybody. I don't believe in that. I believe in what's right though. And what's right is for me to stand up and continue to have a voice for Kirk. And I pray to God, like others as well, for Charlie Kirk. I pray to God that people understand that this is the right thing. The man wanted peace, and people are flipping it as if he was hateful and he condoned hate. He condoned the violence. He loved it. No, he said things, and some things are controversial. But at the end of the day, he was about peace. A man of God. You have to understand that. You guys don't understand that. You're so focused on, you thinking that everything is an attack. And when you say things, everything is like, okay, you're attacking my character. You're attacking me. You're attacking this. I'm a part of the left. I didn't like him, but I didn't want him to be killed. Well, I'm not attacking everybody. I'm not attacking anybody. And I'm not saying it's everybody. Please. Just as some of you guys are flipping, my main focus on my main objective is just as people have flipped they flipped the story. They're changing the narrative on, okay, what he said and what he was about. You guys, we have to face the facts. The fact of the matter is, I'm telling you, he was not a racist, and he should not have been assassinated. He should not have been assassinated, and he was not a racist. That's the point. And I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to shut up talking about him. I don't care if black people don't like me, white people don't like me. I will continue to talk. I will continue to talk. I just don't get it. You guys, I'm gonna focus on this here. I feel like I'm not putting that much focus in the chat. I will go live when I get back home. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna set up maybe in my living room or dining room, and I wanna talk about this more, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I will speak with you guys a little later. Make sure y'all hit that bell for all future notifications, and it'll notify you when I go live again. I appreciate you all so much, and thank you guys for those of you that are in support of Charlie Kirk. God bless all of you.